Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Was Betrayed and Became Dante from Devil May Cry movie. Before we start, please go support AdamPendragon for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistaken character's gender, but of course Issei is a male. After the battle against the Infernal Alliance, Issei's life will take a drastic change, betrayed by those he loved, seeing how they slept with the person he believed to be his friend. The worst thing was that everyone knew about the deception. Devastated, he escapes his past to find a new purpose when a person gives his life new meaning. Trailer. They say reality is wonderful, but sometimes reality is disappointing. The chestnut tree runs to a cabin. Issei, boy. Dad, what's going on? Issei, pack your things at once, they found us. The boy went upstairs to pack his things. I still remember that same day. He still looks brown at a beautiful wedding with his future wives. At first it was a dream. Chestnut hugs his wives at a party, everyone smiles. But there will always be something that makes you wake up from reality. The chestnut man is shocked to see his wives having sexual relations with the one he thought was his friend brother. I was fooled, I thought I was the only one surprised, but they didn't see my stupid face. Sirzechs, I'm sorry, but we have to erase your memory. At that Aridit approaches Issei with her 8-month-old belly and caresses Issei's cheek happily. Rias, calm down my Issei, everything will be back to normal with our children. It makes you release your inner demons. Issei's eyes glow red and he breaks free. Issei, I refuse to live a lie. I decided to live my life, to find a purpose. The chestnut tree carries a crying baby. Issei, don't worry, your dad is here, I'll protect you. I know they will come after me, but they think I am not prepared. How naive they are, because if they come to mess with me or my son. Sekiryuutei Cry. Prologue. A horrible truth, fight against my brother. 5 years had ended, the war against an evil force created by the god of death Hades, the Infernal Alliance, all factions of the supernatural world united to defeat him. But what the silly skeleton didn't know was that he was being tricked by a machine being known as Malvazoa. For my part, Hades cast a spell on me that took away my perversion, while the DxD girls fight with Varine. Thanks to them I recovered my perversion and managed to finish off Malvazoa and his stupid plan to bring about an invasion of the X-world. The bad thing about it all was that there was a great farewell. Great Red, the red dragon god of dreams, died by decapitation by Malvazoa himself. I cried for the death of the old man. But now I am the new red dragon god, a great responsibility that I never stopped training to carry the title of the old man. With everything that happened, we were finally able to look towards a better future. Factions that were enemies became allies to create peace and harmony. For my part, I managed to fulfill my dream of marrying the girls who stole my heart, with whom I gave my body and blood, and although you do not believe it, I fell in love with many. Of course I speak of Rias, Akeno, Asia, Kaneko, Zenobia, Irina, Roswis, Ravel, Kuroka, Lefay, Yasaka, Seraphol, Gabriel, Penuum, Tiamat, Elmenhold, Nyx, Ingvold, Roygun, Laisha. Lint and Office, each one wanted to celebrate the wedding where she wanted, but with the help of Sirzechs, the wedding was in the Lucifer castle. There were many guests, demons, angels, fallen angels, yokai, Asgardians, gods and other supernatural beings, up to the 72 pillars of the underworld. 2 years passed after the wedding, and consequently the honeymoon. I took my position not only as ambassador of the factions, since being the pillar the leaders sent me on missions that lasted weeks, even months. Well, with the enemies, I know that if there must be light there is darkness, but there was nothing that the new DxD team did not ask for, led by Vali Lucifer, my eternal rival, boyfriend of Lavinia Rinai and Natsume. Vali was more than a friend, I consider him as my brother to whom I placed my trust and my life itself, as well as Rias and my other wives. That was my mistake, a big mistake that I continue to pay dearly for. It is curious that whenever Vali arrived, he acted strange. Now you'll think I'm happy, right? Well, after a while Rias and my other wives were cold and distant with me. There was almost no love or displays of affection from them, and obviously let's not talk about intimacy, that topic died. I had talked about my marital problems with Vali. I wanted someone to vent to, and I turned to my brother, but he didn't receive advice, he only listened and gave me words of encouragement, that I shouldn't lose faith, that things would work out. That I should give them time. Damn, I guess you only said that so as not to raise suspicions. Not only had I been talking to Vali, Kiba and the faction leaders were also aware of this, but Kiba always put on a nervous smile and changed the subject. Michael just got nervous, Azazel just looked the other way and asked me for help with an invention. Auden just smiled fakely, saying that everything was fine, and Sirzechs only owed me missions. Why do they behave like this? Those who have helped me are Saji and Gasper, who stopped transvestism. They both asked me if I had done something wrong, but I told them no. They told me it was very strange. I had tried to talk to them by all means and overcome this difficult moment we were going through, but every effort I made was useless. I began to blame my duty as a pillar that did not allow me to be with them. The leaders gave me a 4-week mission, but I managed to complete it in 2 weeks. I was in a cafe with Saji talking about how his relationship with Sona was going until I brought up the subject with the girls. He told me to make a surprise visit to Rias, and the others thanked him for such a good idea. I thought a surprise visit was a nice touch, and that's not even mentioning that I went to Asgard to buy so many jewels and dresses for my wives, who would say that I was the one who was surprised. Hyoudou Castle. I appeared in the living room of Hyoudou Castle even though I was part of the Gremory clan. I wanted my own castle to be independent and have privacy with my wives and me, so I asked for the best castle to be built on the outskirts of the underworld, Lilith City, so that we could all live together. It was night and it started to rain, you could see it by the drops of water on the windows. I thought Rias and the others were sleeping alone without anyone. I noticed that all the lights were off, they were only illuminated by the moonlight. Thanks to my dragon senses I had no problems, but I began to smell the girl's scent very strongly, but Vali was also there. I wondered what he was doing in my house. As I walked I clearly heard the faint sounds of moans and screams coming from the sand on the second floor of the castle, my room. I start thinking about many situations, like the girls are in a lesbian orgy and Vali is in another room, but no, as much as I tried to deny it, I couldn't. Following my hearing and smell I approached the main room. Going up the stairs the sounds became clearer and the aroma stronger. When I got almost a meter from my room, I noticed that the door was ajar, letting out a little light. With a lump in my throat and my heart beating 100 times faster, hoping it wasn't what was going to happen, but what my eyes saw wasn't a joke or an illusion. What I saw in front of me, in the same bed where I shared with the women I loved, was my friend, the one I consider my brother, Vali Lucifer, booking my wives. Vali, tell me Rias, who is better, me or your husband? Rias, of course you Vali. Ah. Akeno, please Vali, put it in, I can't stand it anymore, I can't live without you, and that Hennis that I love. Asia, it's not fair. Akeno-san, Vali already came twice in you, it's my turn. Hiroka, that's my turn next to Shirin that. Irina, come on Vali, it's my turn. Zenovia moved her butt sensually. Zenovia, it's not my turn Vali, I can't live without the member of the man I love. Tiamat, it's not fair, he marked me, I should continue, I want to have his offspring. Isaka, and I give Kunu a little brother-sister. Girls, Vali, fill us with your semen, we love you. So I stayed watching this horrible scene. Vali was bucking an excited Rias, she was on all fours, while she licked Akeno's vagina as she leaned on the bed. She moaned uncontrollably from the pleasure that Rias was giving her. I looked away from that scene, I couldn't believe it. I looked again. Don't get me wrong, think about who gets turned on by NTR, I just wanted to confirm that it was just a product of my imagination. I looked back to see Vali face down, with Rias riding him wildly while passionately kissing Roswas, who sat on Vali's face. The rest of the girls were having a lesbian orgy, touching their breasts, licking their bodies or doing scissors. I couldn't stand it any longer, I couldn't keep watching. I went to the living room. Several feelings came to me, anger, disappointment, but above all sadness. Tears formed in my eyes. I couldn't hold them back. Since when did this happen? Why? What did I do wrong? Many questions formed in my mind. I didn't know how to answer them. I went down to the basement to drink and vent my sadness, but the surprise I got was seeing many beer houses, golden apple distilled liquor, the only thing that gets a dragon drunk. My wives and I didn't drink, it was obvious whose it was. I grabbed a bottle and started drinking, sitting there waiting for what was in my room to finish with my handcuffs and my friend to finish it once and for all, but no, 3 hours, 3 damn hours of screams of pleasure. Drake, partner, let's get out of here. I don't want to see you suffer anymore. He was listening to Drake, but he ignored him. He had to know the truth and confront them face to face. The light on the stairs had turned on it lowered the one who was still, in law, the queen of my harem, my wife Rias. Seeing her I felt disgust and repulsion, but more than anything sadness. She was wearing a red shirt which was my shirt. She walked past me without even noticing my presence. I didn't make any movement either, I waited. She was heading towards a small kitchen we had. From the refrigerator she took out several things. First she drank a carton of milk, then she took out bread, cheese, lettuce among other things, but she also took out melted chocolate, all while humming a stupid song that kept getting her out of my mind. It was difficult, so happy at that moment, that smile that I wanted to see so much was reflected back to me, even that look of love that I never saw again. It was then that when turning on the light, Rias noticed my presence in surprise, dropping what she had in her arms. Rias, I know what you're doing here. I thought you were on a mission. Even though I was sick I needed answers. Issei, what am I doing here? Well, I came to surprise you and the girls. With a sad smile I looked at her closely and only saw that she was wearing the shirt. Issei, tell me Rias, why are you naked? Rias nervously avoided looking at me while sweating, at the same time she buttoned the rest of the buttons on her shirt to cover her nakedness. Rias, well I was about to take a bath in the hot springs with the other girls, we had an extensive exercise session. Issei, extensive workout schedule. Wow, it's good that you're in shape, of course, after seeing you ride my friend, of course. But if I learned anything in this world, it's that fate is cruel. Before we could continue talking, Akeno's voice fell like a bucket of cold water for Rias. Akeno, Rias, why are you taking so long? Vali is waiting for us. Yufufufu. As if she saw a ghost, Rias turned her head towards Akeno who, like Rias, was coming down the stairs, was wearing a shirt of someone who was obviously Mia. Rias still didn't speak, Akeno still didn't notice my presence and spoke naturally, ignoring me. Greg, partner, let's go before it's too late. I just ignored it and continued with what I saw. Akeno, what's wrong Rias? It seems like you saw a ghost. Yufufufu, come on, I'll help you prepare the emperors. Remember that we'll use the chocolate with Vali. Now Akeno next to Rias was picking up what was on the floor, but seeing her best friend who didn't react and was very pale, I decided to join the conversation. Issei, how nice to see you Akeno, I see you're going to take a bath with Rias, but my question is what is Vali doing with you upstairs? Akeno, upon hearing my voice, jumped in surprise. I saw the fear in her violet eyes. I stopped sitting and walked towards them with some tears on my face and my fists clenched. Akeno, I thought you were on a mission. She just gave a fake smile, both girls were very scared, I just wanted my answers. The rain was falling outside and then a thunder struck turning everything into a big storm was about to continue when Hyoudou. Another thunder fell, I turned around and there I saw the voice of the person it was Vali Lucifer. I turned around to go face this traitor who harassed me, he doesn't know that I'm dating Natsume and Lavinia, when I saw him well, he was only wearing boxers and a towel drying his hair he had taken a shower. Issei, Vali, it's nice to see you. There's no doubt I left my wives in the best hands for their protection, but you and those bitches went too far, son of a bitch. I summoned the boosted gear and punched him in the cheek, sending him flying into some walls, destroying them. Issei, tell me, since when have you been doing this? You were already with Lavinia and Natsume, because of all the women, you had to notice my wives answer me. He released a great red dragon aura, my fury and sadness were awakened. Rias, Issei please calm down. She put her hand on my shoulder, but I abruptly took it away. Issei, don't touch me, damn you and that thunderboard disgust me, like the other bitches here. Totally shocked, she saw how I released my aura to the point that it almost burned everything in the house. When I started walking I got hit by Vali using his balance breaker, which also made me go through the walls of my house. Angry but also sad, they say you can get everything out by hitting, right? Issei, balance breaker. Greg. Welsh dragon balance breaker. Like something out of fire, my armor appeared, which I used to protect the girls I loved the most. I was going to use it to fight for myself. And I remembered our first encounter, I remember beating him up even though I had to use Azazel's item, this time it will be different. Vali, Hyoudou please calm down, we can talk about it. Issei, talk to me. I offered you my friendship and you spit in my face. Vali, please Hyoudou, I don't want to fight my brother, don't force me to do it. I heard Vali's voice of sadness and sorrow, but I didn't care. I was the most affected, damn it. And that I removed the helmet of my armor so that he could see me in the eyes and if my eyes are full of tears, anger and sadness mixed. Issei, brother. You dare to call me brother, no Vali, we are not brothers and I don't even consider you a friend, how could you do this to me? What about Lavinia and Natsume, are you hiding this from them? Answer me. Vali sighed, took off his helmet and saw his look of regret and melancholy. Vali, forgive me brother, I'm sorry I swear it would be the last time, for the first time I felt something that you always had a family, I wanted to form a family, leave the battles, but not like this, understand me, I have no excuse for you or for my girls, but neither do they have a reason for what we did, please don't hate them, brother I promise that I will leave you alone, and I will never return to your life or with your wives. Those honest words from Vali only made me sigh my anger and helplessness of not wanting to leave this like this, but I couldn't do it. But he only made my aura increase in anger, tears still flowing, really. He just did it to feel like he was part of a family. Issei, I don't want your apologies. Every word that comes out of your mouth disgusts me, for me stay ahead, book them like the bores they are. You wretched man, do you have the balls to tell your girlfriends? Rias and Akeno listened with tears to what he said, it hurt them, tears came out of their eyes a lot. It was when I was about to start my battle that a magic circle appeared revealing the leaders. Issei, thank you for being here, I have something to tell you this unfortunate. Sirzechs, Issei-kun we need you to stay. Wait, why were they acting so serious? Issei, what are you talking about? How do you want me to stay? Volley was there. Azazel, Issei, you shouldn't have seen that. At that moment something clicked in my mind. Issei, you knew that, right? Michael, Issei calm down, we know what's wrong. Issei, you knew that, right? Sirzechs, just calm down, we'll figure it out. Issei, you come out with lies to me, Sirzechs knew it. Auden, yes, we knew, brat. Mikhail, we gave you jobs so Volley could spend more time with them. In my fury, how stupid was I? Now I know why they acted like that. I'm sure Kibbut knew it too. Everyone saw the face of an idiot. I cast a magic circle and headed there. Sirzechs, Issei-kun is waiting. Issei, Volley, I'll wait for you in 2 minutes. If you don't arrive, I'll tell Lavinia and Natsume. Then he went through the magic circle, the other girls alarmed by all the noise came down from the room, but then they saw the leaders upside down, and Rias and Akeno crying. Asia, what happened Sirzechs-sama? Gabriel, Ani-sama what's up? But Zenobia went to hug Volley. Zenobia, hey, why do you have the armor? Let's go. Volley took off the hug and started walking. Azazel, Volley please bring him back. Volley, I will do it, he is my brother and I will make him recover his happiness that I took away from him. Then she went through a magic circle while the other girls were confused. Rias, what have we done? What did I do? Forgive me, Issei. He hugged his brother, while Sirzechs also lamented what would happen. The other girls were quick to notice and began to cry inconsolably. Underworld, uncharted territory. Aparicio Volley looking for Issei who was there, his great crimson aura releases too much power. Volley, here I am. At that Issei turned around and could still see his look of fury and sadness. Issei, well Volley Lucifer the strongest Sekiryuutei and the secret lover of my wives. Volley, Hyoudou I know I have no forgiveness, but I'm sure that. Issei, what? You're leaving my life, harassment. Do you think that just leaving won't change things? Tell me, harassment. Do you think that? Volley, I understood what love is, I want to give Lavinia and Natsume the love that you give to your wives, please Issei don't do this. Issei, Volley you knew it right. The silver-haired man didn't understand. Issei, I had feelings for Lavinia, but I knew she liked you too. I remember I supported you so you could declare your love to her and you giving me your support on my wedding day. Now look at us here. Volley, I know, you know I apologized and I'd do it again, I didn't want to take away the happiness you had. Issei, too late, you already did it, there's only one way to solve it. Volley, harassment will be that. Issei, it won't be a confrontation between the red and white emperor dragons, but a man-to-man fight. Volley had no choice, he sighed and got into a combat stance. Volley, Issei will defeat you, and I swear I will do everything I can to make you happy with them. Issei, well in that case come for me. So Volley and I launched ourselves at each other, each with our armor, generating a clash of power, the battle had begun. Chapter 1. Battle of Feelings, Dragon Crimson Trigger. Underworld, Battlefield. The sound of blows and impacts is heard. Only a battle this big could be taking place. The question was, who was fighting? On one hand there was Hyoudou Issei the current Sekiryuutei, the op-eye dragon, pillar of the factions, and named new dragon god. He faces none other than his predestined rival Volley Lucifer, the current Sekiryuutei. But why did these eternal rivals fight to finally find out who was better, the red or the white? No. This fight is not between eternal rivals, it is a battle of feelings. Issei, because you had to do it I trusted yourself. He punched Volley and then gave him an uppercut that Issei returned with a right. Issei and Volley were both raised differently, when they fought for the first time Issei managed to defeat him, but the battle ended like this. But he managed to overcome any adversity, they fought together against strong enemies, the evil dragons, Rizavum, the Trahiksa. Then their confrontation reached the final of the Azazel Cup, where in their confrontation Issei was the winner, but Volley smiled at seeing him defeated. Thus it happened both men fought together, always to become stronger, Issei to protect his girls, and Volley to be strong for his family. They both reached a point of being called both brothers. But why do brothers fight? Issei, you're a damn guy because damn it. Volley, Hyoudou calm down. Issei was launching dragon shots, while Volley reflected them with his ability, when Issei charged at him while Volley was hitting him, so that both of them destroyed several mountains. Hyoudou Issei achieved his dream of marrying his beloved girls, however his marriage was not going so well. Volley Lucifer, leader of DXD, took care of his brother's wives and has Lavinia Rinai and Natsume as girlfriends. But then what happened? Issei came home for a surprise for his girls and was caught in the same bed with his wives and his brother Volley in the middle of an orgy. Issei felt many feelings. Anger, disappointment, sadness and betrayal. Issei, because of all women they were my wives. Volley, Hyoudou, stop this fight, we can talk about it, I don't want to hurt you, brother. Issei, don't come back and call me brother. Both of them launched themselves, colliding, releasing a huge explosion. Meanwhile, a magic circle had appeared, leaving the leaders and Issei's wives. Sirzechs, where are they? Azazel, look there. I point out that when both collided, generating the explosion, the leaders created a shield to protect them. Auden, if they continue like this, they will destroy the whole place. Everyone was worried about the two of them. Michael, Issei-kun, forgive us for doing this to you. Azazel, seriously, we were idiots to say that to the girls, please volley wins. Sirzechs didn't say anything, but he looked with pity at his brother who, because of him, was now heartbroken. While the chestnut wives could not articulate words, they watched with tears, watching their husband fight. They felt disgusting and regretful for doing so, they just wanted everything to end and their husband to be saved. While in battle, Issei hit Volley with fury. Volley also responded with everything but repelled Issei with magic circles. Volley, Albion, do you think we can win? His dragon said nothing. Volley, I understand you, you're still upset, I promise I won't kill him. He launched himself at Issei again, while Albion watched a battle of his eternal rival. Albion, idiot. Volley started hitting Issei, blood spit out of the armor, but Issei took both of Volley's arms. Issei, with force. Thus giving him a strong headbutt, breaking the helmet. Issei, because Volley, we were brothers, we fought side by side, I understood you more when we fought with your grandfather, we fought in the Azazel Cup not as rivals, but as brothers who fought together, but I will never forgive you for what you did. He threw punches that connected with Volley, hurting him a lot. Issei's tears came out with every hit he gave. Issei, tell me why. Why did you really do it? Why did you do it? Because you understood what love is. Don't buck with me. He hit Volley in the face and sent him flying several meters. Issei flew at high speed, but Volley rammed him, destroying several rocks. Volley, why? Because in everything we were the same, but there was something you had, something that I never had. Now I understand whether you like it or not. Issei, I will make you attend to blows. Issei, shut your mouth. Both of them threw punches until Issei threw a punch destroying Volley's armor. He moved several meters away from him. Issei, because Volley don't love Lavinia and Natsume, then why? Volley didn't respond. Volley, I know you won't understand, but I'm sorry, let's stop this until someone gets hurt, your girls will worry about you. Issei got upset about that. Issei, really? Do you believe it? When I entered my room, I didn't see that. I saw them happy, those bitches were with you, rolling around with you. They disgust me. But the leaders lowered their heads because of him. Issei was like that. Sirzechs, Issei-kun, we feel it. Azazel, we really messed up, and big time. While Issei's wives cried at what their husband told them, it was true, Issei was always late. Volley was his way of recovering that lack of love from Issei, but they ruined it now. They can only see how the love of their life hates them with his soul. But Issei and Volley, both somewhat tired, wanted to continue. Issei wanted to continue, he had to calm his anger. Issei, last time, I beat you, so it won't be like a rating game, I'm going to win. Volley. Volley, I will beat you, and when I do I will tell you my answer, and I will make sure you can be with your girls, that's a promise. Both would use the definitive form DXD Diabolos Dragon. Issei, I guess there's no other way. Drake, are you with me? Drake, partner, no. Issei, live all these adventures to get here, I will follow you to the end. Issei smiled at Drake's words. Volley, Albion, I know you hear me, I want to fight to the fullest, please help me. Albion, Volley, you disappoint me for what you did, but for the magician and Natsume, I will only tell you that the consequences will be serious. Volley sighed. Volley, I know, but I'm willing to accept my sins. But that an aura enveloped Volley, resonating the voices of Volley, Albion and Office in the divine diving. Volley, the pure white dragon that dwells within me, rise from your supremacy. Albion, the silver-white morning star I possess within me, claims the throne of dawn. Office, the jet-black god of infinity. Volley, the mysterious and unfathomable father of demons. Volley and Albion, we will transcend the limits to accept the oath. All, you will kneel before our bright and glorious existence. Albion. Vanishing dragon Lucifer drive. The great white light covered everything. When it stopped shining you could see Volley with a powerful armor. Volley, Hyoudou, I will fight to the fullest, accepting my sins and your hatred. Issei sigh. Issei, if you accept them then face me, I'm going to beat you. At that a crimson light enveloped Issei, his voice and offices resonating, annoying Issei. Issei, the crimson red dragon that dwells within me, awaken from your domain. Office, the crimson heavenly dragon I possess within me, rises to become king and roars. Office, the jet black god of infinity. Issei, the glorious red god of dreams. Both, watch over the forbidden existence we will become that transcends the limits. Both, you will dance like a glow inside our hell. Dreg. Welsh dragon god dragon drive. The crimson light shone all over the place when it stopped shining. Issei was in a new armor. Issei, now let's talk seriously. But the leaders. They didn't know what those lights were, but they felt the monster power. Sirzechs, I can't be. Azazel, but what are those two doing? But they turned to see Office, who was crying. Asia, Office, and what's wrong? Office, Issei used the Diabolos dragon just like Volley. Everyone was surprised. Rias, this has to stop, I'm going for Issei. Rias spread her wings, but Sirzechs grabbed her arm. Rias, Ani-sama, what are you doing? I must help my husband. Sirzechs, Rias, believe me, if you go you will be Issei-kun's target, we must accept it. Rias, wait for Volley to win, and we will solve this. Rias began to cry, comforted by Akeno. Tiamat, you better not let him die, Drag, or I'll kill you myself. While everyone was waiting for the outcome of the battle. On Issei versus Volley. They both stared at each other and were about to start their battle. Issei, you're not going to tell me, right? Volley, Hyoudou, I'll give you a chance, please let's stop this. At that he extends his hand, but Issei slaps his hand. Issei, I'm sorry but I will never forgive you, but I must thank you. Volley, why? Issei, for helping me realize that my wives for whom I fought and protected so much were bitches who opened their legs. Volley, no Hyoudou, you don't understand. If I could. Issei, enough with the chatter. Inso punched Volley, sending him flying. He flew at top speed to hit him, but Volley caught his fist and punched him in the face. Issei, damn. Both continued hitting each other without stopping, causing great destruction. Almost the entire terrain was destroyed. Issei, that's all. Volley. The silver-haired boy had gotten up and started flying, followed by Issei, and they continued hitting each other. And that they collide to land and run to bump their elbows. Volley, I will defeat you, Hyoudou. Issei, shut your damn mouth. At that Volley attacked Issei, knocking him down, but he got up and managed to dodge a kick, but Volley kneed him in the chest. Issei sculpted blood to move a few meters away from Volley. Issei, don't end us here, Drag. Drag. Boost, boost, boots, boost, boost. Issei's power increases tremendously. Volley, in that case I'll keep it. Albion. Divine, 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 divine. Volley divided Issei's power, however it was too great that Issei grabbed onto it. Issei, hey, this brings back old times. Did you forget the overload? But that he increased his power to overload Volley's armor. Volley, I won't make the same mistake twice. He knees Issei and sends him to the ground, then Volley lands. Volley, you can't win, Hyoudou, give up. Issei, never, not that I have destroyed your face. The crimson aura increased. Issei pointed two cannons of his wings at Volley. Issei. Infinite blaster. Firing a powerful crimson beam at Volley. Volley, Satan compression. Closing his fist he managed to divide the attack, however the destruction was so great that it sent Volley flying, generating too much destruction. Issei, I guess it's over. But that saw how Volley had stamped at high speed to Issei, throwing a combo of blows with his armor somewhat destroyed. Volley, you're going to need something stronger. But the leaders. Everyone watched as the battle became more and more deadly. Azazel, we must stop this or one of us will die. Auden, no, we can't interfere. Michael, why Auden don't know? Auden, we were all the ones who provoked it, let's pay the price. Sirzechs, but I think I have a plan. Sirzechs walked to Ingvald where he was with tears in his eyes. Sirzechs, Ingvald, we need your help. Nix, are you sure, Sirzechs? Sirzechs, he's already better at controlling his Neri Kiri. Ingvald, please help us for Issei-kun. The descendant of Leviathan wiped her tears and saw the Mau. Ingvald, okay, tell me what the plan is. On Issei versus Volley. Volley continued attacking Issei mercilessly, and it didn't take long for him to rejoin. Issei, I'm still stronger than you. He kicked Volley in the face and then punched him and slammed him to the floor. Issei, you can't beat me, Volley, you think I haven't trained, so the title of Dragon God is too small for me, you can't win. But then Volley gets up. Volley, why you're right, he can't beat you, but I'm sorry to take advantage of this, but it's the only way. And that he saw how a black aura enveloped Volley, increasing his power. Issei, but what is he doing? Drag, partner, the time the Diabolos dragon weakens, his power continues to increase because his connection with Office became stronger. Issei, don't buck with me, by bucking the bucking goddess I gain more power. Drag, partly the Diabolos dragon, uses the power of Office, he was marked by Office, a part of her flows in him just like you. As the black aura enveloped Volley, increasing his power. Albion, you make me ashamed of what you do, Volley. Volley, Albion, I know I broke your honor, but I promise to find you a better bearer, someone who isn't marked. Only then will I be able to live in peace. Albion, if you wanted peace so much, you should never have listened to Hyoudou, Issei's leaders and women. Volley, I know, but I'm going to fix my mistake. Bali's power increased so much that he rose to the sky. Bali, do you want to fight Hyoudou? The reason why I did it is because I'm afraid it will end. Issei, the fact that you slept with Office doesn't change anything. Bali, we'll see about that infinite compression. At that Issei was locked in a cube. Issei, what the hell? Issei tried to escape, but the cube was unbreakable. Bali, forgive me, brother. Slowly closing his hand, Issei's power began to compress. Issei, what is happening? Issei fell to the ground, no matter how much his power increased, it was more and more compressed until it was nothing. Bali, with all the pain in my heart you gave it, you're all you still deserve to know. Issei, Bali, get me out of this shit. At that Bali concentrated energy in his chest. Bali, I'm sorry, you didn't leave me any choice. At that he released his hand where Issei freed himself but was too weak for the attack he received. Bali. Forgive me, Issei sent in Lucifer Smasher. Firing a large white beam that Issei couldn't dodge, he generated a huge explosion. With the leaders. Rias, Issei. The rest of his wives could not see how perhaps the man they loved died. Office, that damn volley. Azazel, damn volley, you went too far. Sirzechs, quick, let's see what happened. But Issei and Bali. Bali walked very wounded, blood was coming out of his body, his armor was broken, he saw the very wounded body and with a lot of blood of his rival Issei. Bali, I'm sorry Issei, you did your best, you fought well, but I had to do it. Issei was very badly injured, but he could still speak. Issei, because. Bali was surprised that he could speak. Issei, because after everything we went through we are the same, tell me why did you do it? There were tears coming out. Bali could only have a sad look, he also had some tears. Bali, it's true, you deserve to know. I'll tell you everything. Issei paid attention. Bali, I was jealous of you, we were always equals, but you beat me in something love. I felt the love of my mother, but you had that other love that both Lavinia and Natsume wanted to give me, love that I rejected or didn't understand because it was focused on fighting. That's when that day came. Flashback. Bali Pav. I was a little sad, I had arrived from another mission where I was received by Lavinia, Natsume who made the food, and then they asked me about having a family and getting married. I didn't want those responsibilities and I said I'm sorry, it's too soon. They were sad and I felt bad. Something I always envied was Hyoudou had his wives, he gave them the love that I should give to my girls. But I didn't expect that day, there was a party for the defeat of the Infernal Alliance. I was there celebrating. My girls couldn't come because they were busy. I saw Hyoudu's wives alone there. Of course, I remembered. Hyoudou told me he accepted a mission so he could spend time with them. I take care of them and as his brother I would not let him down, but they looked strange as if in a smiling way. It was when I had fallen into his net. Final Del Pav Vali. The silver-haired man was calm at a bar when Rias approached him. Rias, hello Vali, how are you? I never thought I'd see you at a party. Vali, well the girls insisted I come. Rias took another sip of her drink. Rias, I see you don't drink golden apple distillate. Vali, no thanks, I don't want to end badly. Rias, wow, that's responsible, not bad for my husband's brother. Unbeknownst to Kuroka, she was behind them and saw Rias wink at her, prompting her to open a pink vial and place it in Vali's drink. Rias, well, a toast to Issei. Vali, for my brother. So they both started drinking, but Rias had a winning smile. A few hours passed when Vali took the girls to Hyoudou Castle. Hyoudou Castle. The silver-haired man was a bit strange because he felt flushed and how to say it, excited perhaps. Albion did notice that he was trying to talk to Vali, but he was in a bad way and didn't respond. Rias, Vali, you must be tired. Stay here and sleep. Vali, no need, I can. Bekeno, CC we insist. The girls went up while Vali sighs heavily. Vali, what the hell is happening to me? Vali tried to wash his face, but the burn wouldn't go away. His only option was to take a shower. Athrumaria. The silver-haired man was bathing peacefully, nothing was happening. Vali, Albion, what's wrong with me? Albion, I was afraid of it. Vali, whatever you do, don't let them. But he was interrupted because the door opened, seeing his brother's wives naked. Laisha, wow, it seems we were wrong. Lint, hey Vali, do you mind if we accompany you? You're looking after us, right? The girls approached Vali, their eyes shining with obvious lust. The silver-haired man felt like marking them, but resisted. He didn't want to, he was wrong, he was very uncomfortable. The girls went into the bathtub with him. Vali, girls, this is wrong, they are my brother's wives. With annoyance but was silenced by Rias' caresses. Rias, let's go. Vali, Issei never knew it. Zenovia, we've been very alone. Kuroka, Issei Nyan doesn't indulge us much, you know, Nyan. Vali knew that he was wrong. Albion tried to help him, but Ingvald, using Nerid Kyrie, weakened the dragon. Of course, it didn't help that Office and Tiamat were releasing pheromones. Bali couldn't take it anymore, he was in bad shape, he had girlfriends, his brother would never forgive him. But as a man he fell into temptation, Rias whispered in his ear. Rias, let yourself go. And he didn't wait any longer. Vali let himself be carried away by his instincts. Albion saw with pity what he was doing. That same day Vali marked Issei's women as his own, and they continued having sex until dawn. Well, Rias and the others drugged him with essence of Lilith, which was the most powerful of the aphrodisiacs. In the morning, Vali woke up in his brother's bed, and when he looked closely he saw that Issei's wives were naked in the bed with a smile. Vali grabbed his head and saw the mark on each of their necks. Vali, curse I made Hyoudou, Lavinia, Natsum forgive me. Vali wanted to leave and a magic circle appeared, bringing out the leaders. Sirzechs, hi Vali, I see you had fun yesterday, right? Vali was scared. Vali, wait, it was a mistake on my part. Azazel, wait, we're not upset, we're happy about this. Vali, what? What are you talking about? Aden, the girls are happy, we did well to tell them. But Vali got angry. Vali, harassment, don't you know what you did? You used me for this, when Hyoudou. Sirzechs, look Vali, the thing is that the girls told us that Issei always took missions and he almost didn't get to spend time with them. Azazel, since we don't know the reason, we say something that is for their own good. Michael, adultery, as long as it is secret. Vali, you're crazy, I'm not going to. But he felt something soft being Ria's breasts that hugged him from behind while the others got up. Rias, good morning. Vali, you did this, you don't know what you did. Nix, that's not what you said last night. Vali was angry with everyone. Sirzechs, look Vali, we want you to be the girl's secret lover. Vali, no, I refuse. Rias, Vali, I know you don't understand many things, but you can be with us, you will learn how to deal with love, so you can do it with your girls. The silver-haired man thought it over carefully, it was an idea he could accept. Sirzechs, what are you saying? Vali sighed. Vali, okay, I'll do it. And so Vali began an unfaithful love with his brother's girls, each day was passionate. Vali understood more and more, but Albion was disappointed. Until Vali realized that not everything was rosy, the leaders told him that they would give him less work so he could spend more time with the girls and they would give Issei more missions. But she realized that she didn't want to live that happiness with them, but with her girls, so that day she was going to end the relationship. That day Issei arrived. End of flashback. Issei was shocked, he didn't know what to say. Vali, I know what I did and I'm sorry. That night I wanted to end it, but you came. Now I want to fix everything. But Issei started laughing. Issei, ha 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 ha, now I understand those bitches wanted Hex, but at one point I was an idiot. You know why you did the missions, because if I completed them, I was going to ask the leaders to give me vacations with them, but from there my marriage fell apart. Now I understand. Vali, no Hyoudou, we are in time too. Issei, there's no more time and you know something, you did beat me at something. Vali, what are you talking about? Issei, congratulations on being a dad. That surprised Vali. Vali, and no. Issei, I felt the energy in Ria's belly and the others. I'm an idiot. Everything I did is a shame. Vali, no Hyoudou, let's go, you can go. The leaders will arrive, please, let's go. But he saw how Issei got up. Issei, now that I know your reasons, I think I should finish this. At that point he saw that there was a boosted gear gem lying around and took it. Vali, Hyoudou, what are you doing? Issei, Drake, tell me, is it possible to synchronize my heart with a boosted gear? Drake, it's possible, but wait Issei, what are you going to do? Issei, Old Red didn't give away his title for nothing. Boosted gear answers my feelings. At that point the sphere was introduced into the body and a red energy began to cover it. Issei, ahhh, it hurts, ah. Vali, Hyoudou. Vali ran, but the aura increased more. Issei, ahhhhh. Drake. Boost. Issei, the power of 3 auras: demon, dragon and god beyond limits. Dragon, crimson trigger. A huge crimson explosion shook the place as Vali saw some kind of demon. Vali, Hyoudou, is that you? Issei. Arg. Vali got scared. Issei just smiled. Issei launched himself at maximum speed against Vali, crashing him against a wall. Issei, flying. He threw Vali and then flew with his sword, creating cuts in Vali that broke his armor. Vali, ah. At that Issei grabbed him by the neck and started whipping him. To then take him by the arm and tear it off, drawing a lot of blood. Vali, ah. Issei threw him to the ground and stabbed him in the eye with his sword. Vali, ah. Issei just finished him off with blows until he left him half injured. Issei. Arg. He roared with victory when he saw that from a magic circle came the leaders and their wives. Sirzechs, what is that thing? Rias, Issei. Issei, seeing them, roared and flew towards them. Azazel, he's coming towards us. Issei. Arggg. The office generated a shield, but Issei was breaking it. The office, Ingvildahara. The purple-haired girl began to sing her calm story to Issei, who in the end managed to weaken him, causing him to fall demurfed. Rias, Issei. The girls went for him, but the leaders were scared. Sirzechs, what was that? The office, Issei's power got worse. Michael, what do you mean office? The office, that's the dragon god trigger. So a battle ended, but what will happen to Issei with that form? Chapter 2. The Decision and Escape, the Mysterious Man. Gremory Mansion Dungeon. Inside one of the cells was a chestnut tree chained up and could only slowly open its eyes. Issei, Dreg, where are we? Dreg. Dreg, buddy, you're awake, what a relief. Issei, Dreg, what happened? Where are we? Dreg, what do you mean you don't know what happened? You don't remember anything. In that a series of mental blows came the chestnut images of how he discovered that the girls were unfaithful to him with Volley, even his battle against him. Issei, it's true they. Tears began to fall from her face. After all, she wanted this to all be a horrible nightmare. Dreg, don't worry, buddy, we'll get through this, I swear on my life. Issei, Dreg, what good is living? Dreg, what the hell are you talking about? Issei, I fought for them, I overcame my limits for them, I tried hard for them, damn it, I broke every damn bone, I died and revived again just to be with them, and this is how they pay me. Dreg, calm down buddy, I'm sorry for what happened to you. Issei, she was right. Dreg, her. Issei, Rainer, she was right, who would love a pervert like him that only girls see as a game, damn why do these things always happen to me, what did I do wrong for them to do this to me? Dreg, enough Issei. The chestnut fell silent at the cry of his dragon companion. Dreg, regretting over and over again isn't going to get you anywhere, you have to use this to move forward, or isn't that what you've been doing? The chestnut tree just remained silent. Dreg, you faced the Phoenix knowing that you couldn't control my power, you fought with a Keter who fought in the Great War, you fought against gods, heroes, vampires, evil dragons, even the son of the devil himself, you faced 666 without fear, and you fought with two powerful gods of Greek and Hindu mythologies. The Hyoudou Issei that I know is the person who always gets up, no matter how many times he is knocked down. Issei, Dreg too. Dreg, I may not be an expert on love, but I do know one thing about cheating women. Never look at them again and let life lead you to the right person. Issei, hearing Dreg's words, just gave a small smile. Issei, since when did you become so wise? Dreg, I've lived alone for a long time, you pervert had a mind with breasts, and you hardly ever talk to me. Issei, haha I should do it more often right? Dreg, yes you should. Issei, well now why are we in a dungeon? Dreg, I'll summarize this, let's say that upstairs they are thinking about what to do with you. Issei, you mean the leaders and them, right? Dreg, correct we don't have much time. Issei, okay then let's get out of here. I tried to activate the boosted gear, but nothing happened. Issei, Dreg what's wrong? Why can't I summon the boosted gear? Dreg, I feared it, look, don't be alarmed, but your magic level, let's say, is in critical condition. Issei, critical condition. Dreg, when you used the dragon trigger you embedded one of the boosted gear gems straight into your heart. I don't know what else happened after we transformed, but when I woke up your magic level was very critical. I had the last of my magic saved, the rest is unstable. Issei, what happens if I just use balance breaker? Dreg, in extreme cases you can explode. Issei, explode, don't buck with me. Dreg, I'm sorry, but you're weak now I must stabilize it, or else you'll be a walking time bomb. Issei could only think about the transformation he used. Issei, Dragon Crimson Trigger. Dreg, something happened with that shape, right? Issei, when I entered that state I felt how my feelings of anger and revenge increased even my power. Dreg, we have to be careful how to use it. Remember that your dragonification as a pseudo-dragon god is recent, meaning we don't know what other surprises await us in the future. Issei, yes, but how do you want us to escape? My hands are tied and I don't think a miracle will save us. Dreg, have faith, my friend. We'll escape. I'll use my last reserve of magic to transport us away from the factions. For now, rest and save that energy. I'll let you know if anyone comes. Issei just attended to close his eyes and concentrate. Issei, I leave here and never see you again Rias. Meeting room. In the room were the leaders of the three factions, along with some people among them were Kiba, Gasper, Sona, Saji, Volley who now had an eye patch, and finally Issei's ex-wives. Sirzechs, I know it's strange for some of you that we called you at this hour. Saji, did something happen to Hyoudou, Sirzechs-sama? Sona, in the report they gave us to read it was serious. Gasper, knows something about what happened to Issei-senpai, Rias Butchu. Rias, no, Gasper, I'm sorry, but I don't know what happened to Issei, the others don't know either. While those who didn't know the secret were thinking what could have gone wrong, Azazel sighed. Azazel, curse convincing the doctor to make that report was a miracle. Flashback. Sitri Hospital. Issei and Volley were in 2 hospital beds. On one hand, Volley was unconscious due to the battle, while the doctors looked for a way to put his arm back on. While Issei was another case, he was connected to a respiratory machine. The girls remained by his side with tears in their eyes. Rias, my Is, forgive me really, forgive me. Asia, Issei said I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. The others could not argue words because they could not respond when seeing Issei's state, however some girls like Tiamat, Nyx and Office wanted to kill Volley, but could not due to seeing Issei. Michael, how's Volley? Auden, the doctor said he will be recovered, he will wake up soon, the damage was very lethal, but he will be fine. Azazel, and you told Natsum and Lavinia. Auden, not before Volley was taken did he make me swear not to tell him that he himself would tell him. Azazel sighed as he looked sadly at the one who was like his son. Azazel, Volley forgive this fool for getting you into this. Sirzechs, and Issei-kun. Azazel, the doctor gave his report, you won't like this. Then he gave him a folder and when he opened it, Sirzechs froze in fear. Sirzechs, this has to be a lie. The document said that Issei's magic system was out of control, and not only that, the pawn pieces inside it were destroyed. Azazel, if we screw up big time, the doctors will do what they can, but I don't think I can fight like that again. Michael, what was that thing that Issei-kun transformed into? Office, it's called Dragon Trigger. In that, leaders like Office were on their side. Auden, Office. Office, this is my fault Issei, the person I love is like this, it's my fault. Azazel, we are all guilty, but what is that about Trigger? The goddess of infinity looked at the leaders. Office, the dragon Trigger is the draconification to become a dragon god. Sirzechs, Issei-kun obtained such power. Office, Issei's Diabolos dragon evolves to a point where it reaches Trigger using Drake's gem as a stimulant to increase its internal dragon power. Azazel, but how did he get it? Office, her body is made of red grate and has some power, but using her negative feelings she awakened the Trigger, each dragon goddess can reach that form. Michael, you can reach that level. The goddess of infinity shook her head. Office, I still lack experience, but Great Red could in fact Issei's form was very similar to Red's for some reason he gave his title to Issei. The factions then turned back to see Issei who was fast asleep. Sirzechs, we must do something, we can't tell the world. Azazel, and what do you want us to do or say? Hello, we were the idiots who told the wives of the hero of the factions to sleep with another man. Of course, Sirzechs, our heads are not in danger. Auden, the situation is complicated, what will we do? Michael, the first say we discuss it, but let's bring those who knew the secret and the people who didn't know like Saji and Sona have to know what her sister did. Sirzechs, fine, I'll have some guards pick up Issei-kun and lock him in one of the dungeon cells. I'll tell them that Issei-kun may become unstable during the mission until we can solve this. The other leaders attended while watching Issei asleep. End of flashback. While those who did not know the truth continued thinking until Auden spoke. Auden, look, we called you here because you need to know the truth about what happened today. Sirzechs, we hope you can understand. For them they were confused about what Sirzechs was saying until he started talking about why Issei went on a mission, but he did it in order to finally be with his harem for a while. The girls told them about the lack of love that Issei gave them. So by a plan of theirs they used Volley who only wanted to learn more about love used as a second lover that would help them satisfy themselves due to the lack of Issei. However Volley realized what he was doing was wrong and decided that day to end this unfaithful relationship, however that Issei had returned to surprise them, but he was surprised to see them with Volley in the act and also knowing that they were pregnant with his child. From there the battle between them broke out, with Issei and Volley coming out seriously injured in the battle. Sirzechs, I hope you can understand why we did it. Michael, we are sorry for what happened. Azazel, we understand if you are upset. Saji, Sona and Gasper didn't say anything, they were just shocked to hear that, then Seraphil approached her sister. Seraphil, so seriously sorry for what I did. There was no response in words because Sona slapped Seraphil surprising everyone. Rias, Sona why did you do that? The one who took a long time to react was Seraphil. Seraphil, Sotan because. Sona, shut up. Speaking in a cold manner to his sister while looking at her angrily. Sona, I put up with your whims for a long time, but this was the straw that broke the camel's back. Seraphil, so sorry I didn't mean to. Sona, shut up. After a long time seeing you as a role model, like our father saw you as the best of the Sitri clan, I began to accept that my silly older sister couldn't do this kind of thing. Seraphil saw as if her sister were shedding some tears. Sona, Issei told me how good you were, how you wanted me to approach you, how many dates he didn't take you on, how many gifts he didn't buy you, tell me. Even the eldest Sitri remained silent. Sona, did you think about everything he did for you and the other boars here, right? I imagine you were so desperate for Issei to buck you that you decided to look for someone else, right? And you think I'll accept what you're carrying in your womb as a nephew, but not you. Seraphal, as Sotan. Sona, as the leader of the Sitri Seraphal clan, you will pack your things and go live with the rest of the prostitutes. Never come back or mention that we are sisters. When Akasama finds out, you will be in serious trouble. Rias, Sona, you can't talk to your sister like that. Sona, look who says it, Rias, it can't be that you accepted this stupid proposal. You disappoint me just like Roygun-san and Laisha, their clans will feel ashamed for what they did. The girls just hung their heads in shame. Roygun, we're really sorry about this, you don't know how I feel. Sona, yes, I know because I am now the clan leader and since you are heirs, you must pay for your crime. While the girls were arguing, Saji and Gasper looked seriously at Kiba. Saji, so you knew all along, right? Kiba, guys, I thought this was the best for Rias but you and the others, I'm sorry. Gasper, are you sorry? Are you really sorry Kiba, I was your partner as well as Issei senpai, the three men of the Gremory nobility, and you hide something like this from senpai. Kiba, Gasper I. But Saji grabbed him by his shirt. Saji, tell me, put yourself in Hyoudu's shoes, what would happen if Tsubaki were unfaithful to you? Come on, tell me, would you take it easy or would you act like Issei? Kiba said nothing. Saji, answer. But then Vali let go and freed Kiba from Saji's grip. Vali, leave it all, this is my fault. Saji, and with good reason Vali, you disappoint me, how could you let them convince you? You already had girlfriends. Vali had remained silent. Bitra, knowing Albion is disappointed in you, Vali, you know well what happens to the female, when she is unfaithful to her male, you have sealed her fate. The silver-haired man remained silent because he was right and Albion stopped talking to him. Gasper, when Natsume-san and Lavinia-san find out. Vali, they won't do it, we already know how to fix this. Saji, what do you mean? Azazel, we thought about it and we have a plan. Everyone looked at Azazel for what he said. Michael, the first no we ruined Issei-kun's life, but I think we should give him the chance he deserved. Gasper, I don't understand what you're talking about. Sirzechs, we will erase Issei-kun's memory of this day. Saji, are you kidding? Auden, no Brad is better we and the girls say it when we quote him. Sona, and why would they have an opinion? Akeno, we are Anada's wives and we decide what is best for him. Gasper, they disgust me. They'll put them in charge of taking care of children that aren't theirs. Tiamat, and for that we will compensate him with all the love we will give him. Lint, we will never leave him alone. Enmu, we promise to take care of him. Gabriel, to be able to have his own children. Saji, then I won't allow it. Gasper, I, as a true man, will never let them do that to Issei senpai. Sona, then I'm going to stop them so they don't tarnish the honor of real women. Lefei, we're sorry about that, but they leave us no choice. At that moment they saw a cube-shaped barrier form over them. Gasper, but what? Sona, a Nordic barrier. Saji, damn boars get us out of here. Saji started hitting the barrier in anger. Braswas, I'm sorry, but this barrier is unbreakable and will last as long as necessary. Rias, Sona, Gasper, I promise that I will make my Issei's life happier than ever. Sona, you're a damn Rias. Gasper, Kiba, if you still have any dignity left, help us. Vali, you too, do something for Issei, he's his friend. Those mentioned said nothing. Gasper, damn, you don't deserve to be called men. Nix, well, let's go tonight, we have to see Issei. The other girls attended while the leaders and they left the room, but what they didn't know was that everything was heard by a little red-haired boy. I won't let them touch Nai-san. The boy began to run to the dungeons hoping to get there first. Gremory Mansion Dungeon. Issei was meditating when he heard the sound of knocking. Issei, what's happening? Greg, partner, I detect someone nearby, be alert. Issei, understood. Nai-san, Issei Nai-san, where are you? Issei opened his eyes upon hearing that voice and was glad to see that it was Milika's Gremory. Issei, Milika's, what are you doing here? Milika's, Nai-san, I know everything, I know what my unfortunate aunt did. Issei, wow, I guess I embarrass you, right? Milika's, not at all, you have always gotten up from all the blows that have been given to you, even the Sekiryuutei himself can cry. Issei smiled at Milika's words. Milika's, Nai-san, listen, I have to tell you something quickly. Issei, go ahead, tell me what happened. Milika's, the leaders, my aunt and your ex-wives are coming here to erase your memory. That bothered Issei and Dreg. Dreg, how dare they do that? Your feelings don't matter. Issei, if you think that erasing the damage you did will solve everything, you are wrong. Milikas, don't worry, I'll get you out of here. Issei, wait, I have a plan, but I need you to do something for me. At that point he began to talk to Milikas about his plan. Milikas, don't worry, Nai-san, leave everything in my hands. Issei, I trust you well. Time skip. The factions along with Issei's ex-wives had arrived at the dungeons. Sirzechs, there are no guards here, how strange. Rias, maybe they went to rest on Isama. Irina, come on, I can't stand seeing darling here. Then they walked to Issei's cell where they saw that he was asleep. Lomenhold, there he is, he looks calm. The girls had mixed feelings when they saw him. He is the man they love, the one they swore to love, but they were unfaithful, and they wanted to win back his love no matter what the cost. Tiamat, Issei, we promise not to do this again. Isaka, for Kunu's sake, I won't leave her without a father. Ravel, I promise to follow him and love him this time, Issei-sama. At that Sirzechs opened the cell so they could enter. Sirzechs, Issei-kun, I'm really sorry about this, you deserved better than this. Rias, wait on Isama, can I hug him while you do it? Sirzechs, okay Rias, go ahead. At that Rias approached Issei where her swollen belly was noticeable, hugging Issei and touching his cheek happily. Rias, calm down Myas, everything will go back to how it was before with our children. But when Sirzechs was about to put his hand on Issei's head, he smiled, pushing Rias, seeing that the chains that bound him were destroyed. Issei, I refuse to live that fantasy with you, now drag. At that a magic circle appeared at Issei's feet while everyone was surprised. Issei, girls, this is for you. Then he throws his wedding ring at her. Issei, bye bye bitches. At that the magic circle finished transporting Issei. Azazel, where did he go? Sirzechs, let's quickly search the area. While the leaders ran, the girls were in shock, their eyes were no longer lifeless, but Rias who picked up Issei's ring. Rias, unknown place. The magic circle appeared, leaving Issei weak as he walked as much as he could. Issei, we did it drag. Brag, if you did it, buddy, you can rest now. At that Issei walked until he reached a place where he fainted, but at that moment an unknown man approached him. Wow, what do we have here? Issei, who are you? Where am I? Well, boy, I'm Morrison. Morrison, welcome to my place. Chapter 3. Meeting Morrison, the new demon hunter is born. Hyoudou mansion, double room. It looks like Rias was asleep, but then she started to wake up. Rias, and no, not that nightmare again. At that moment he feels a hand resting on his shoulder, being Issei. Issei, Rias, is there anything? Rias, yes, that nightmare won't let me sleep again. Issei, I already told you that wasn't real, I was always here. Then he caresses Rias' belly. Issei, we're going to be great parents. Rias, I couldn't have asked for a better husband than you. Issei, and I am the best wife, I love you Rias. Gremory. Rias, and I love you I love you very much. Iridi then kissed Issei, who reciprocated it in a very beautiful moment. Wow, what a beautiful scene, huh? It's a shame it's not like that. Rias hearing that voice separates from Issei and sees that he was not even in the room, he was in great darkness. Rias, hello. Tell me, you like that fantasy, right? I bet you were dreaming about it, weren't you? Rias didn't know whose voice it was until she realized it was her own. Rias, who are you? Rias 2, ha ha ha, you wonder who I am, well I am your silly who else. Rias 2 had a terrifying smile that scared Rias a little. Rias, where's this? Tell me what happened to the room and why do you look like me? Rias 2, come on, relax. Do you really not know? Wow, it must be that these breasts don't give us much brain power. Rias, wait, I remember now, I say the. Rias 2, did she leave? If she's not here, I'll leave you like the others, but I think we should see why, right? Rias 2 snapped her fingers, and in it Rias saw something that left her scared because it was her and the girls in her hex section with volley. Rias 2, look at you riding volley like there's no tomorrow, they really enjoyed it. Rias, shut up. We did that for. Rias 2, because this wasn't home, ha ha ha, that reminds me why this part is my favorite. And that Rias and the other Rias saw how the Rias of the memory goes down the stairs looking for some things and then see Issei sitting on the sofa. Rias 2, oh my favorite part, if you look closely you can see how you broke his heart, haha. Rias, Rias flashback. Issei flashback, because Rias tells me why. The original Rias began to cry. Rias 2, you know, I liked Volley much more than this, we're even going to have his child, isn't that great? Rias, shut up. Please stop, I don't want this. Rias 2, oh, but the best part is yet to come, wait, I have something better. At that the scene changes to the Gremory mansion where Issei threw away his wedding ring. Issei, bye bye bitches. Thus disappearing forever from the original Rias, girls only fell with tears in her eyes. Rias 2, are you crying? But it's good, right? you'll be able to have the child you wanted. Rias, you're wrong. I want to be with Issei, live with him, feel him, have his child, not this. Rias too, but it's too late, he probably got another one. Rias. And no impossible Issei. Rias too, if you were unfaithful to him, why can't he? Rias, because he loves me. Rias too, ha ha ha, don't make me laugh, I'm sure that new bitch he has is comforting him, and in a moment Issei will have his own family. Rias, I won't allow that Issei, he will be mine. Rias too, that's how it's spoken, the others want it too, go for it, kill that bitch, and then make him yours, torture him, grape him, whatever you want, but he's yours and no one else's. Rias, if you're right, it's ours, and it will never belong to anyone else. Ha 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 ha. In that, you could see how everything fractured and then the whole space broke apart. At that moment, Rias began to wake up. It had all been a dream. Rias, a dream? No, it wasn't true. At that, Rias saw her belly and smiled evilly. Rias, my beautiful boy, don't worry, mom will tell you who your father is. In that, Rias looked for some things and managed to find a small hair of Issei. Rias, I need LaFay's help, but don't worry, you and your brothers will be my Issei's children, ha 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 ha. As he laughed, a dragon tattoo appeared on his neck, turning black. Unknown location. Morrison Place. The brown-haired boy began to wake up and saw that he was lying on a sofa. Issei, where am I? Drake, where are we? Well, you're in the right place, kid. Issei saw how Morrison had arrived with a tray of cookies and a tea. Morrison, eat, you must be hungry for sure. Issei didn't respond, thinking it could be dangerous. Morrison, I see. You think I'm dangerous, right? Don't worry. If I were bad, I would have left you to die outside the premises. Issei thought about it for a bit and saw that he had no bad intentions. When he saw the cookies, he started eating them. Morrison, ha ha, you're hungry, aren't you? Issei continued eating and then began to drink the tea. Morrison. That's going to help you stabilize your magical patterns so you won't be stressed about being a walking bomb. Issei stopped eating and looked at Morrison. Issei, do you know what I am? Morrison, a supernatural being, right? I'd say a dragon or a demon. I haven't seen one in a while. Issei, who are you? And where are we? Morrison, I already told you, I'm Morrison, this is my place, and well, let's just say I've had encounters with these beings. Issei, why did you help me without knowing who I am? Morrison, I didn't feel like you were dangerous despite all that magical power, I actually felt sad. Boy, what happened to you to end up like this? Issei, so how? Morrison, almost dead. If it weren't for your dragon companion you would have been dead for a few hours already. Issei, Drake. He's. Morrison, ha ha ha, still alive, boy, he had to sleep to focus all that power. Issei, I see I caused you problems again. Issei got up to be able to walk around the place somewhat weakly. Morrison, hey kid, don't rush, you still need time to recover. Issei, I'm fine, thank you for everything, really, Morrison-san. Morrison, I'm not talking about the physical, I'm talking about the internal. Issei stopped. Morrison, boy, inside I see how a soul was shattered. Issei just clenched his fists while Morrison searched for a beer bottle. Morrison, well, are you going to tell me or are we going to finish the bottle? Issei, why do you want to know about my life? It's more because you're interested. Morrison, because what I see is a man who lost his way. Tell me or we'll drink until we forget everything. Issei fue don Morrison y si cento en el sofa Morrison tomo dos vasos serviendo cerveza. Morrison, alright kid, I'm all ears. Issei began to tell him what his life was like while Morrison drank his drink, then came the part where he fell in love with the girls and then told him that they were unfaithful to him with his rival, all this while in the end, Morrison finished his drink. Issei, I don't know what to do, they will look for me, they will not stop until they catch me, I have no purpose anymore. Morrison, boy, listen carefully, leave the past behind. If it happened to you, leave it behind, don't let it affect you. Issei, what are you talking about if they? Morrison, what about them? They cheated on you, so what? You'll cry forever, kid. Life is hard, but you can't let this get in the way. Keep going. Issei. Morrison-san. Morrison, find the purpose for which you are in life. It took me a long time to find mine. Now you must find yours. Issei saw his drink and was going to take it, but Morrison took it away from him. Morrison, when you're cured, you can drink it. Issei, well, what can I do? Morrison, I think I have something for you, an offer. Do you want to hear it? Issei remained silent as he listened to Morrison while a red coat was hanging in a display case. Kuoh City. Bullied apartment. A silver-haired man had entered his apartment after he found out that Issei escaped from the Gremory mansion and didn't know what to do. Bali, Hyoudou, forgive me for ruining your life. Ha ha ha, oh, I don't even think what you did was that bad, Vali. Bali started to hear the voice but didn't know who it was. Bali, who's here? Get out of here now. Ah ha ha, really, are you going to play the hero? Come on, how long until they know? Bali began to search for the origin of the voice throughout the apartment but only heard Viz's annoying laughter until he entered the room he shared with Lavinia and Natsume. Bali, damn, where are you? Wow, Bali, how rude to refer to your elders like that, you disappoint me, grandson. Bali turned around, looking in the mirror, seeing the person he didn't want to see in his life. Bali, and no, it's impossible, you're dead. That person in the mirror was Vali, Lucifer's grandfather, Rizavam Livan Lucifer. Rizavam, oh Vali, I'm never going to die. I didn't tell you. You're an image of me as you are of your father. Ha ha. Bali, I don't know what kind of trick you're up to, but this ends here, where are you? Rizavam, hey, my grandson, don't you see yourself in the mirror? I am your reflection. Bali, and no, you're lying, I'll never be like you, I'd rather die. Rizavam, Vali, I think you should know something that my father, the original Lucifer, liked more than anyone in the world. You know what it is, right? Bali hadn't spoken, he just looked at him seriously. Rizavam, my father loved married women, with boyfriends, even widows or divorcees. Isn't that exciting? Touching what others have already touched. Bali, and no, I never have. Rizavam, girlfriend. Hey Vali, your father had a girlfriend before meeting your mother. In fact, your mother was a woman who had a boyfriend before and your grandmother was a widow. Ha. No, that's not the best nephew. Bali, shut up. Rizavam, tell me the details, how the Gremory woman's breasts feel, or how to experience the intimacy of a hybrid, even that of the purest angel in heaven, or even two goddesses. Bali, shut up. Rizavam, Vali, I'm so proud of you, ruining the Sekiryuutei's life, ha ha, my grandson, I feel like I'm going to cry with joy, ha 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 ha. Vali, shut up. At that, Vali hit the mirror, breaking it, while Vali sighed exhaustedly. Vali, I'm not like him. Virginia-kun, is everything okay? Vali turned around to see a beautiful blonde woman with long hair and blue eyes, as well as her big breasts and nice ass, Lavinia Rini being Vali's first girlfriend. Vali, Lavinia, I thought you were at the bar. Lavinia, Natsume-chan is on my shift and I came home early. Vali, I see, it's good that you're here. The blonde just smiled at Vali. Lavinia, alright, you hit the mirror by accident. Vali, ah. If that was an accident. Lavinia just smiled at Vali's blush. Lavinia, don't worry, Natsume-chan will arrive in a while. I'll go take a shower, okay? The blonde started walking to the bathroom while Vali sat on the bed. Vali, damn, I must say no, I can't. Rizavam, go ahead grandson, keep lying to him, he probably won't know when you have 22 children, ha ha. Vali, shut up, damn old man. But then the bathroom door opened and Lavinia came out with a towel wrapped around her body. Lavinia. Virginia-kun. The blonde dropped her towel, showing her naked body. She had lustful eyes looking at Vali, who only felt uncomfortable. Vali, hey, put that on. Look, I'll help you find some clothes. But then Lavinia took him to lay him on the bed, getting on top of him. Lavinia, Virginia-kun, I've thought about it a lot and I'm ready to take the next step. Vali, wait, we can't do this. Lavinia, am I not enough for you, Virginia-kun? But the sensual tone, Vali just blushed but knew it was wrong. Vali, Lavinia, I. The blonde put a finger to her lips to silence him. Lavinia, let our love speak for itself, Virginia-kun. The blonde closed her eyes as she approached to kiss him. Vali did the same while waiting for the kiss. Vali, maybe I can do it, I think I can if it's not necessary after all. But then memories attacked his mind. Flashback. Rias, ah yes, you are better than this. Tiamat, you like it a lot, don't you? Nyx, ah Vali, Maz. Visaka, come on, give me more, impregnate me, ah. Issei, you were my friend, my brother, how could you do this to me? End of flashback. Vali just moved Lavinia away from the bed so they could both sit down. Lavinia, Virginia-kun, is something wrong? The blonde watched as Vali shed tears. Vali, Lavinia, I can't, I'm sorry. At that moment I hugged the blonde, at that moment the door opened, showing a brunette woman with a good body, Natsume Minagawa. Natsume, hey, what are you doing? Watching Vali cry while hugging Lavinia. Some time later. Vali was sitting on the bed while Lavinia was beside him and Natsume was standing. Natsume, Vali, tell us what happened. Vali, girls, I really apologize, I wish I hadn't accepted that. Lavinia, come on Virginia-kun, tell us what happened. Vali taking a sigh watching his girlfriends. Vali, girls, I was unfaithful to you. The girls were surprised by that. Lavinia, Virginia-kun. Natsume, hey, stop that joke, you never. Vali, I did well. I admit I was unfaithful. It was with Hyoudou's wives. The girls couldn't believe that Vali had done it with his friends' women. Natsum, why tell us why? Bali, I was scared. You know how hard it is to love, I didn't know anything, I didn't want it, it was those damn things and the factions, I accepted, I learned what love was, but in the end I ruined Hyoudou's life, girls, please forgive me. Neither said anything. Natsum approached Vali, and only the sound of a slap that Natsum gave him was heard. Natsum, idiot, you heard me, you're a damn idiot. Lavinia said nothing but her heart was broken. Natsum, after everything we did for you. We tried to make you fall in love with us in so many ways for this. Every mission you said you were going on was just to buck those boars. Vali didn't say anything, his girlfriend was right. Natsum, listen carefully, love has nothing to do with hex, love is the special thing that one person feels for another, it's something special, and you just killed that, sorry, I'll go tomorrow with Tobio. The brunette left the room, but she started to cry, leaving Lavinia and Vali alone. Vali, Lavinia I. The blonde touched her cheek. Lavinia, Virginia-kun, I understand you. You know, I don't know much about love, but I know that for me you weren't bad. Vali, then. Lavinia, no Virginia-kun, I'm sorry, but don't let this ruin your life, okay? I hope you can remedy this. Thank you for being honest with us. Then he kissed her on the forehead as he stood up. Vali was left alone crying because the heart of the ice mage he loved so much had completely destroyed him. Unknown place. Issei was walking with Morrison calmly. Issei, what are we doing here? Morrison, well, what else do you think? Hey, you don't have a gun, right? Issei, well, let's say I can't use it yet. Watching his hand knowing Drake was resting. Morrison, okay kid, take one of these. At that Morrison had taken out 2 pairs of pistols. Issei, where did you get that from? Morrison, we're once an old friend, let's go this way, fun awaits us. Issei took one of the guns along with Morrison and entered a museum. Morrison, well, he should be here by now. Issei, what a thing. Morrison on the ground. Issei quickly dodged something that almost fell on him. Morrison, here's a look, boy. It'll bring back memories. What fell appeared to be a giant arachnid creature. Spider, ARGGG. Issei, a rogue demon here. Morrison, boy, the gun works against him, they are holy bullets. Start shooting him now or we'll be your dinner. Morrison began shooting at the spider as it used its legs to protect itself. Issei, understood, well let's see. Issei started running to go shooting at the spider that was still protecting itself. Issei, it doesn't work. Morrison, hit her in the eyes, that makes her angry. At that Morrison shot him in one of the eyes making the spider angry. Spider, ARGGG. Morrison, see, I told you. Issei, very funny, I could use Ascalon right now. And that he continued shooting at the spider, in effect it began to hit with its legs while they dodged. Morrison, not bad boy, haha, you have fun. Issei, of course not, old man. He continued shooting at him until he ran out of bullets. Issei, I have no ammo. Morrison, leave it to me. Morrison ran dodging the spider's blows, throwing a charger at Issei. Morrison, last charger please don't waste them. Then he shoots the spider in another of its eyes, making it even angrier. Issei, okay please Drake, I know you're asleep, but I need Ascalon. The spider launched itself at them, both of them dodged to shoot while the spider left it full of holes. Morrison, we're not going to kill her like that. Issei, I have a plan, hey, hit the other eye. Morrison, granted Chico. Morrison ran, shooting the spider in its eyes. The angry spider managed to hit Morrison, sending him flying into a pillar, destroying it. Morrison, it's going to hurt tomorrow. Spider, ARRRG. The spider launched itself at Morrison, but Issei was heard running towards it. Issei, hey ugly. This way. At that he jumped and in a magic circle his sword Ascalon came out. Issei. AHHHH. At that Issei stuck his sword into the spider's head strongly, letting blood flow out. Issei, die damn bug. Arana. Erg. Finally the spider fell from loss of blood as Is removed the sword from its head. Issei, if you could hear me, thank you Drake. At that Morrison saw Issei with a smile. Morrison, good job, man. I wouldn't even have such a crazy idea. Issei, why are there renegades here? Morrison, let's go to the place and I'll tell you, okay? They both walked tiredly towards the premises. Morrison place. Upon arriving Issei Morrison went to a table to sit on some chairs. Issei, okay tell me why there are renegades here. Morrison, boy, when the faction of demons assigns someone to guard a territory, it is due to the level of the area. This area almost killed a clan heir and entourage. Issei, is that why there are so many? Morrison, for years I tried to fight it, but as you can see I'm a bit old, so I thought of something. But that he put his hand on Issei's shoulder. Morrison, tell me Issei, don't you want to be a demon hunter? Issei. Yokas Adamonios. Morrison, if you have talent and if you want to be able to have a purpose, then this is the place you say. Issei thought about it until he saw the red trench coat in the display case. Issei. De Quionera. Morrison, oh, it was from an old friend, no. This is a long story of two brothers. Issei. Bueno. At that Issei had taken out the drink that Morrison gave him. Issei, it starts. Morrison smiled as he began to tell the story of two brothers, Dante and Virgil. 6 months later. Morrison Place. Morrison could be seen entering the premises while seeing someone sleeping on the couch. Morrison, hey, you should invest in this place. That person was Issei, a little more adult now. Issei, sorry, I hadn't noticed. Morrison, well, I have a job for you and 2 gifts. Issei, really, and what are they? Morrison, first the gifts apart from the ebony and ivory pistols, I have this for you. Then he gave a gift to Issei, who opened it. Issei, wow, Morrison, this is. In that you could see a red trench coat, the same one from the stained glass window. Issei, Morrison is. Morrison, I made some touches, let's put it on. Issei took it and after a while he came out with his new outfit. Issei, and how are you? Greg, ha 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 mate, you look great. Issei, thanks Dragon. Morrison, well, are you taking the job? Issei, tell me what you are. Morrison, a city far from here, a sister asked me to help with a demon extermination. Issei, a sister? Morrison, she's an important person in the church, right? Issei, I have nothing to lose, the trip will be long. Morrison. Por eso les tengo esto sigum. They both left the premises seeing how Issei was amazed. Issei. Wow. Greg, wow, that has style. What they saw was a black motorcycle with a demon design. Morrison, they call him Cavalier, he belonged to the old owner of the place, by the way, you already have the name. Issei, of course, I put it on the table and don't worry, I'll take care of it. Issei got on the bike, stepping on the accelerator. Greg, partner, a new adventure awaits us. Issei, I believe it Greg, well Morrison I'll leave you, I have to try this girl. At that he accelerated until he was already leaving at high speed, while Morrison entered the place seeing the name that Issei put on the table. Morrison, heh, that guy really has a knack for names. But that I leave the paper on the table to go what the paper said. Sekiryuutei Cry. Chapter 4. First mission, a baby. R. Inside the place there were some men drinking, others talking and some who couldn't stop drooling over the girls. However, we focused on the brown-haired boy who was sitting at the bar drinking a beer. Issei, wow, even though it doesn't get me drunk, it feels really good to have one. Greg, stop wasting time drinking. We should have arrived in the city a few minutes ago. Issei, calm down Greg, a few drinks won't do much harm, at least I hope so. The boy continued drinking when 2 muscular men appeared behind him. Man, hey, that's my seat. Issei, so? How strange I don't see your name on it. I answered him without looking at him. Man too, I think you don't understand. He said to get up from his seat. But the brown-haired boy ignored them until the man grabbed him by the collar of his coat. Man, it seems you don't know how to listen outside my seat and as an apology, you're going to give us that nice jacket of yours. Issei sigh. Issei, what does a man have to do to be left alone? Hey gorilla, do you know something called dental hygiene? All the men started to laugh. Man, consider yourself dead. Issei. No thanks, but I was just leaving if you excuse me. Using a glass he broke it in his face causing him to drop it. Greg, I told you without problems. Issei, calm down Greg, I'm just going to take out the trash. At that the fingers snapped. 10 minutes later. The chestnut leaves the bar normally until he gets on the Cavalier. Issei, I told you Greg take out the trash. Greg, you should find a hobby instead of starting fights. Issei, yes, but come on, he asked for it. Greg, better get the bike running and let's go. Issei, he shouted friend. Turning on the Cavalier, she continued on her way while inside the bar, all the girls were scared to see all the men in the bar, with quite a few bruises on their faces. The chestnut continued traveling on his motorcycle for a few hours until he reached the city. Issei, well, it's not the 5-star home, but I think everything is fine. Greg, I don't detect any demons nearby, we must look for Morrison's contact. Issei, if I remember correctly, she was an important woman in the church, so the first place must be there. Greg, stay alert, we know nothing about this place. Issei, calm down, I have this beauty. Showing an Ascalon. Greg, I don't understand why you carry the sword if I can keep it. Issei, just as a precaution, Greg, stay calm. Let's look for that woman. So the chestnut tree along with his dragon companion walked through the city very quietly, as if it were the city of Kuoh, having to ask for directions. They had arrived at the city church. Church. The chestnut tree had entered surprising some priests of who he was. Issei, wow, they sure cleaned this place. Priest, greetings son, you have come to cleanse your sins. Issei, I don't think so, father, but I did come for a person who is a friend of Morrison. Priest, oh, this is Sister Maria's talk over here sir. The chestnut tree followed the priest through the church, looking at the place. Issei, I know it's silly to say this, but he really has problems with. Priest, shhh don't mention Lucifer's children here. Issei, sorry. Priest, the angels sent us help, but they couldn't kill the creature. Our church is very strict with the word demon, even though there is a pact, we respect God a lot. Issei, if the old god had seen what Irina, Gabriel and Lint did and banished them from heaven. They continued walking until they reached a fountain where a girl was praying. Priest, I can follow you up to here. Sister Maria is there. Tell Mr. Morrison to come to confession sometime. Issei, ha 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 I'll try, thank you very much. The priest left while Issei approached Maria, but he had remained silent because he saw that she was very beautiful with a voluptuous figure, blonde hair and blue eyes, she wore glasses, she was wearing a blue dress with open sides with a white underwear, white gloves, a blue hat with the church brand, and white garters with brown boots up to the knees. Maria, God forgives the city of all its sins. When he got up after praying he saw Issei standing there without saying anything. Maria, excuse me, do you need anything? Greg, hey Earth calling Issei reacts. The brown-haired boy had turned his gaze somewhat nervously. Issei, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you haha. Greg, in all my years of being alive, I've never seen you humiliate yourself like that. Maria, don't worry, but tell me what brings you here to confess. Issei, not exactly work matters, I am Hyoudou Issei, the demon hunter friend of Morrison or my card tome. From his pocket he takes out a card that he gives to Maria to read. Maria, Sekiryuutei Cry. Issei, do you like it? The name isn't trademarked yet. Greg, your way of flirting is rusty, mate. Issei, you shut up. Maria, it's the demon hunter that Morrison-san told me about. Issei, yes, he told me that they had a problem with demons and I came to take care of this. Maria, well in that case, let me introduce myself. I am a priestess sent from the Vatican, Maria Virginia. It is a pleasure. Sekiryuutei Hyoudou Issei Sama. The blonde then took out a pair of angel wings. Issei, are you an angel? Maria, yes, I belong to Gabriel Sama's deck, I was sent here because Sister Griselda is busy. Issei. Gabriel. Mentioning the archangel in a cold manner. Maria, excuse me, is that okay? Issei, don't worry, it's the past. Well, I'm here to help you with your problem. Maria, in that case, it will be a pleasure to work with you, Issei-san. Issei, well and where is the renegade demon? Maria, in an abandoned mansion far from the city, but I warn you, it could be dangerous. Issei, don't worry, if something happens, I'll protect you well, let's go. Maria, wait, we won't use transportation circles. Issei, no, my cavalier is faster. Let's go, if he wants, he'll come. The brown-haired boy gave her a smile that made Maria blush. Maria, of course, I've never ridden a motorcycle. They both left the church to whistle the chestnut tree and then the cavalier appears. Maria, the first incredible how did he do it? Issei, responds to my energy like the boosted gear and I discover everything it can do. Then he got on the motorcycle. Issei, well, what are you waiting for, Maria-san, come up. The blushing girl climbed up and hugged Issei from behind, pressing her breasts to his back. Maria, is that okay? Issei, why yes very well. Greg, some don't change haha. Issei, shut up, super developed lizard. So they both began their journey to the mansion where the demon lived. Issei, Maria-san can I ask you something? Maria, what is it? Issei, who has learned about Archangel Gabriel, Irina and Lint Selzen. Maria, well, I found out they're pregnant, but I thought he was married to them. Why are you here? Hunting renegades. The chestnut remained silent for a while. Issei, sigh we are separated. Maria, huh? Because I thought they loved each other very much. Issei, since it will be a long trip, let me tell you why we separated. While traveling Issei told Maria about how his wives were unfaithful to him with volley. Of course at first Maria refused to believe it, however later she saw how cold Issei's face was. Issei, that's why I decided to make a new life away from them and the factions to be free from fighting in wars or fighting with gods that threaten the world. Maria, I'm truly sorry about what happened with your marriage. I never thought Gabriel Sama could. Issei, listen, if he asks you if you've seen me, please promise me that you'll tell him no matter what, promised. Maria, the first swear to God. Issei smiled. Issei, well in that case let's speed up the pace, that demon won't kill himself. Accelerating faster the cavalier until reaching what looks like an old mansion, the scary thing is that it was all old, in addition to two rusty swings that were hanging from a withered tree. Issei. It looks like the place from a horror movie. Maria, the demon extended his territory, rotting this whole place. Issei, now I wonder if you are an angel how you couldn't kill him. Maria, his renegade level is class A, he is very strong even with my power of light. Issei, class A. Maria, the first thought Miss Gremory explained it to you. When a demon rebels against its master, its level of corruption will be as great as its own desires. Issei, I mean, the higher the desire, the greater the corruption, right? Maria, correct. The chestnut tree saw the mansion. Issei, okay Issei, if you saw that giant spider and that half-monster girl, let's see how ugly this demon is, okay, let's go and stay behind me, can you purify this again? Maria, once the demon dies, his corruption also disappears. Issei, well in that case let's say hello. The boy took out his guns and kicked the door of the mansion to enter. Abandoned mansion. Issei, it seems like there is no one. Maria, be careful, we don't know where. Welcome. They both turned around to see where the demon was when an eye on the wall. Issei, how disgusting. Welcome to the mansion, my offering today that we have here, a dragon and a beautiful angel, I think I won the lottery. Issei, why don't you come and we fight face to face? Ha ha ha, you are nobody to give me orders, you are trapped here. The doors of the mansion closed by themselves, terrifying Maria, but Issei didn't flinch. Dragon, I'll make you an offer. I'll spare your life. In exchange, give me that pretty angel. I want to try every corner of her. Haha. Maria, how unpleasant. Issei, what a nice offer, you let me go so you can do whatever you want with it, well, let's see, I think aiming at ivory I shoot at the eye and at the wall making it disappear. Damn, you should have taken my offer, now you both will die here. At that, tentacles began to emerge from the floor. Issei, okay, let's clean this place. Maria-san, can you help me? The blonde created a spear of light. Maria, the first will purge this evil in the name of God. Issei, will exorcises this demon. The brown-haired boy began to shoot at the tentacles while Maria used her spear of light to destroy them. Damn you, you won't get out of here, I'll eat you all. Issei, does this guy not shut up? While continuing to shoot at the tentacles on the floor. Maria, we must find it, let's look up. Issei, it seems fine to me. Putting away his pistols he took out Ascalon and began to cut off all the tentacles that were attacking him. Issei, I haven't lost my touch with this. The chestnut tree began to climb the stairs of the mansion with Maria, killing all the tentacles that the mansion generated. Issei, where the hell is that thing? But many eyes appeared. They won't be able to find me, I'm everywhere, haha. Maria, did your body merge with the mansion? No silly dove, I'm hiding while I use my ability, I'll kill them right here like I did with the owners of this house. Issei, nice speech, but this is an eviction order. You don't understand me, nobody understands me, why me? Because. At that the mansion began to shake. Maria, his corruption is making him more unstable. Issei, hey Drag, can you tell me if you found it? Drag, there is a lot of demonic energy, but there is accumulation right below you and the woman. Issei, downstairs. Wait. Maria-san, I already know where she is. Maria, where? But then the walls of the mansion began to close in. Now die. Issei, I choose my own options, thanks. Maria, if we don't do something, it will crush us. Issei, I have a solution, hold on. The boy summoned the boosted gear. Issei, please work balance breaker. Drag. Welsh dragon balance breaker. The flash of fire and red color covered Issei to appear with his armor. Issei, okay Maria-san, get behind me. Maria, the first trust you well Issei-san. The girl stood behind Issei as the space became narrower. Issei, Welsh Dragonic Rook. Drag. Change solid impact. The armor began to change, becoming larger and heavier, and the shape of the tower. Maria, incredible. Issei, alright here we go, solid impact. Giving a powerful punch he managed to create a huge hole where Issei and Maria began to fall, and then Issei hugged Maria and acted as a shield to fall into the basement of the mansion. Maria, the first Issei-sen is okay. At that the armor disappeared while Issei slowly got up. Issei, oh, what a stupid idea I had. Maria, it was not an excellent achievement to create a huge hole in the basement. Issei, I guess I shouldn't have put so much force. Maria, okay, now it's my turn to show you what I can do. The girl created a small sphere of light that began to move. Maria, it will help us see the way. Issei, good idea, although it is a somewhat large basement hidden here. Indeed, you are quite right. The two stood on guard as many eyes surrounded them. Since you were all so stupid to come to me, I should introduce myself, right? In that shadow a strange muscular being had come out. His eyes were above his head. Maria, are you the renegade demon of this mansion? Correct, detestable Paloma, I am Finger the strongest. Issei, stronger. I don't think attacking from the shadows makes you strong, but rather a coward. Iger, silence, you detestable inferior beings, do you think you are superior to me? No. Dreg, mate, there is something strange apart from you, the woman and the demon, there is someone else here. Issei, are you sure, Dreg? Dreg, I can't confirm it, but yes. Issei, well hey Finger, apart from us, there's someone else here, right? Finger, oh. You're talking about my last snack. I was going to devour it when that pigeon arrived, and its exorcists must have seen how I devoured the family. Ha ha ha. Maria, evil, how could you do that? Finger, huh. Because I can be so bad, Dove, I really wanted you, but now I'll eat you and you'll be the first. At high speed he launched himself at Maria, who made a spear of light to defend herself. Maria, so fast. Finger, haha, let's go. But I dodge a shot from Issei's guns. Issei, Maria San Cubris, bien bastardo bolimos. The girl managed to get away so Issei could shoot the demon, however he dodged the bullets. Finger, ha, you better improve your aim. Issei, damn, I must, if I used the blaster the whole mansion would fall. Finger, I don't want to dodge anymore, now I'll attack them. Issei. Try it now, Maria. Finger. Maria, in the name of God I purify you. Throwing a spear of light at the demon's chest. Maria, did it work? Issei, not yet. The brown-haired man then started shooting him in the head. Issei, ready, finished. Maria, well, we have to find the person who was locked up here. But when they were about to leave, the demon rose up and frightened them. Finger, ahhhh. That really hurt, that really hurt. The wound on his chest and face were regenerating. Issei, I've never seen a renegade who could do that. Finger, I told you he was the strongest, now let me show him. Disappearing in the blink of an eye, he had punched Issei in the face, sending him flying. Maria, Issei-san. But the demon takes her by the neck. Finger, come on, beg me for your life. Maria summoned a spear of light, piercing it into her arm. Finger, I told you that doesn't work on me, but the pain is hellish. Now I'll kill you faster. Beginning to choke her harder, cutting off the blonde's breath. Maria, Issei-san. But the demon's arm was torn off to see how Issei had Maria in his arms unconscious. Issei, sorry about that, Maria, now this is personal. Finger, what an interesting toy you have there. Taking his arm to put it back on. Finger, do you mind if we play? Both began to clash. Issei's attacks with Ascalon, and the demon used his hands. Issei, if you're good at being so ugly. Finger, haha, yes, let's fight. Both continued to exchange blows. Issei, damn, Ascalon can't cut it. Finger, you're talking about that toy. Let me show you the difference between that and me. Launching an attack with his hand, Issei blocked it with Ascalon, but what surprised him was that he managed to break the sword. Issei, Ascalon this. Finger, I told you, that piece of trash can't cut me, you should have run away when you should have, now die. Hitting Issei in the chest and knocking him down. Finger, well, first I'll devour the woman first. He started walking towards Maria while Issei was on the ground. Dreg, mate, you have to get up. Issei, say it for yourself, Dreg is very strong, I can't beat him like this. Dreg, there is no way. Issei, what are you talking about? Dreg, during these 6 months you have trained the power of the dragon trigger. Issei, no, if I use it I'll lose control again. Dreg, but you always thought of it as revenge, think of using it for good. The chestnut meditated and then smiled. Issei, Dreg, since when do you have good ideas? Dreg, you taught me how to use the trump card in the end, come on. The boy began to get up to go against Finger. Finger, but you're so hot, maybe if I grape you and then eat you. Issei, take your hands away from her. Finger, wow, it seems like you want me to take out your heart, right? Issei, no, because this time you will be the one who dies. Issei's eyes were crimson, and then he released a large red aura. Finger, what is this power? Issei, Vamos Dragon. Summoning the boosted gear. Issei, boosted gear answers my feelings once again. The torrent of red energy covered Issei. Finger, but what? Dreg. Dragon primordial crimson trigger. A large red light covered the entire mansion, and then Is was seen transformed into a kind of humanoid dragon. Issei, well Finger, what do you say around 2? Finger, I'm not afraid of you even if you change your appearance. Issei, well, that's good because I'll teach you what fear is. Issei took Ascalon to see how it was covered with crimson energy changing its appearance. Issei, oh, I'm starting to like this. With a smile he launched himself at Finger. Finger. I told you that toy can't run. But he didn't react when Issei had cut off his arm. Issei, has a good edge. Finger, and it can't be impossible. Issei, what I see on your face, maybe you have a fear. Finger, get away from me or I'll kill the pigeon. Issei, bad choice of words. The brown-haired man launched himself at Finger again, launching several very quick cuts, making the demon bleed. Finger, damn you, don't you dare make fun of me. He launched himself at Issei, but he calmly only made a cut with his sword. Issei. Crimson slash. The demon had split in half as Issei looked at its remains. Issei, you shouldn't have messed with a woman, that would be trash. Walking towards Maria as she detransformed. Greg, it turned out better than I expected. Issei, yes, but let's try not to use it too much. The blonde slowly opened her eyes. Maria, what is it Issei-san? Issei, calm down Maria, I'm fine now. But he was surprised when I hugged him. Maria, thank you for saving me. Issei, hey, don't worry, we're friends, right? Giving a smile that made the blonde blush. Maria, sorry for not helping much against the demon. Issei, don't worry, you did a great job. Maria, thank you, well, we must look for the one who had him locked up. The chestnut attended to hear a scream. Maria, where does it come from? Issei, from there. Pointing to a large mound of darkness that disappeared revealing a baby with white hair. Baby, wow. Maria, for God's sake, I was going to eat that baby. She ran to take the baby in her arms. Issei, it's very cute. Maria, the first believe it. Baby, wow. Maria, although she doesn't stop crying. Issei, I'll take care of it. Taking the baby by holding him while he calmed down. Maria, the first think he likes you a lot. Issei, what are we going to do with him? Maria, the first can't take him to heaven, I'm sorry. Issei, seeing the baby, imagined what it would have been like to have a family with his wives, even to be able to be together with his children, but he knew that was no longer possible, shedding a few tears. Maria, Issei-sen is okay. Issei, I decided I will take care of him. Maria, are you sure? Issei, I always dreamed of being a father, I think it's a good opportunity. Maria, I'm glad about that, what are you going to call it? The brown-haired boy thought of many names, but when he saw his hair he remembered the stories of the two brothers that Morrison told him. Issei. I already know what to call him, I'll call him Virgil. Time skip. Issei was riding Cavalier while carrying Virgil safely. Maria, tell Morrison I send my regards. Issei, of course I will. Maria, also if I can I will visit Virgil-chan. Issei, I'm sure he'd like to see you. Maria, one more thing about your sword is it okay? The chestnut had taken out Ascalon with his new design. Issei, I think my power affected him, I still don't know what else to do. Maria, you must be careful when using it. Issei, thanks, I'm going to call it Ascalon Rebellion. Maria, what a name. Issei, it's good Maria-sen I hope it goes well for you. Maria, take care of yourself too. The boy started his motorcycle to leave the city. Maria, Issei-sen I hope God gives him a woman who can heal his heart. So the brown-haired boy went free on his motorcycle, not only did he meet a new friend, but now he has something very precious. A son. Chapter 5. The Passage of Time. Reunion with an old friend. Abandoned warehouse. I know how a little white-haired boy was running from some demons who were coming for him. I bet I wasn't caught by fools. The boy kept running until he ran out of options. Well as I planned. Taking out two pistols he began to shoot at the demons, killing them one by one. Very slow or what's wrong with them? Demons, ARGGG. Hey, do you kiss your moms with that mouth? The demons launched themselves at the boy who continued shooting at them until he saw that he had no more bullets. I knew I should have brought spares. Well, does anyone have extra bullets? Demons, ARRGGG. Yes, I was afraid they would say that, but a demon hunter is not alone. The demons began to surround him while the child sighed. I said he's not alone. Oh, of course I forgot. Taking out a cell phone he started to play a song. I present to you the legendary demon hunter. At that moment some lights came on showing a brown-haired man with a hat. Issei, if it's me, the walking legend, no demon could ever be my opponent. The demons were confused as Issei danced. Issei, there will be those who think I'm arrogant, a bucking pedantic bastard. I think I'm amazing. The boy took out his guns and started shooting at the demons with style while he slid, sang and danced. Issei, Sekiryuutei, I wield my sword as a weapon when rebellion is not on my back. At that the demons surrounded him. Issei, do you really want to charge more? I put on the boosted gear ready to use it until it burns, but why are you all after me? If every time you try, you die, Ebony and Ivory fire hundreds of bullets that finish you off. Turning to fire a burst of bullets killing the demons. That's it, Dad. Issei, just like the Cavalier when she passes over you. I change style and I can dodge you or turn very aggressively and knock you down. Issei dodged the demons while shooting them with style while dancing. Incredible huh? The boy felt like a bigger demon had appeared taking the child with his hand. Dad. The chestnut sees that he had his son out of rebellion. Issei, if I use the dragon trigger, poor whoever meets me because he will know what it is like to have a dragon god as an enemy. The chestnut transformed into his trigger form to fly, and with a slash, he split the demon in two carrying the child. Issei, are you okay? Yes, thanks, Dad. Smiling at his adoptive father, that 10-year-old boy was Virgil. Issei, be careful next time Virgil, but you like the song, right? Virgil, you should take your job more seriously, Dad. Issei. Brag, ha 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 I really like the guy. Virgil, thanks Grandpa Drag. Brag, Grandpa. Brat, I may be sealed, but let me tell you something, I'm not that old. Issei, ha 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 they gave it back to you Drag. Brag, shut up you boss. Virgil, Edo Dad sorry to interrupt, but we have to go. Issei, right well, let's go home son to tell Morrison about another job well done. Whistling for the cavalier to appear Issei and Virgil got in as he drove to what is his home. Time skip. Sekiryuutei Cry. The chestnut tree opened the doors of his somewhat neglected premises, but it was organized as much as possible. Issei, Virgil I'll go sit down you see if there are any calls. Virgil, I am 10 years old and you make me work as a secretary, maybe we should hire one. Issei, come on, we've managed this place, it doesn't look bad, well, more or less, I'm going for a soda. The boy looked in a refrigerator for a soda, opened it and lay down on the couch, while Virgil sat at a desk next to a phone. Virgil, Dad, if he's a bit lazy, maybe I should find him a date or something. Then the phone rang and the boy picked it up to answer. Virgil, Sekiryuutei Cry tell us yes no ma'am, we are not that kind of exterminators yes sorry goodbye. Hanging up the phone that rang again to answer it. Virgil, Sekiryuutei Cry, can we help? We are not pizza delivery men yes sir, sorry, but do you have problems with demons? Oh well, sorry, have a nice day. Hanging up the call to Cyborg. Issei, Virgil Algan Cliente. Virgil, no wrong numbers, those lights are confusing us. Issei, but they're pretty, right? Hey Virgil, there's one thing. But the phone rang again for the child to answer it. Virgil, Sekiryuutei Cry how can we help? Oh Morrison-san how have you been? Issei. S. Morrison. Virgil, if we get the job done if Dad didn't make a mess. Issei, hey, you're supposed to be the kid. Virgil, yes, I understand it says that Maria sends greetings too. Issei, hey this Maria let's pass it on to me. The brown-haired boy wanted to take the phone away from his son, but he wouldn't let him. Virgil, I don't believe it, last time you were ordering pizza non-stop excuse me Morrison-san, go on where? Kuoh City. The brown-haired boy quickly took the phone from Virgil. Virgil, hey. Issei, Morrison what do you mean by Kuoh City? Morrison, well, an old friend called me with a small problem of demons that are causing chaos. I know you don't like that place, Issei, but he promised too much. Issei, Virgil can you go up? Virgil, okay, fine, I'll read my book of poems. Issei waited for his son to come up and sit on the desk chair. Issei, who is that friend? Morrison, you're not going to like the name Azazel. The brown-haired boy, upon hearing that name, gripped the phone tightly. Issei, do you know who I am? Morrison, I didn't tell him you work for a large sum of money. Issei, how much is it? Morrison, enough for a school for Virgil. The chestnut took a photo of him and his son when he was 5 years old. Morrison, Issei I know you hate that city, but I couldn't refuse it, I know you want to give Virgil a good future, that's why I fixed a small house where you can live while you're at work and. Issei, you have to double the payment. Morrison, huh? And why? Issei, not only an education but a home where Virgil can live, I've thought about returning to Kuoh with Drag. Morrison, are you sure? Issei, you said it, I can't run away forever, and I think it will be good for me to meet my parents. I haven't seen them for years, so I'll go see them. Morrison, I knew you would say that, well I'll talk to Azazel, but if they are going to move, what about the premises? Issei, I think I'll take a vacation, killing, shooting and cutting renegade demons is not a hobby. Morrison, ha ha ha, okay, I'll call you when I get confirmation of the double payment while you go have a good time with the boy, okay? Issei yes, thank you Morrison. The brown-haired boy hung up the call to sigh exhaustedly. Drag, I know how you feel, mate, we can't go back. Issei, years have passed, Drag, maybe they think I'm dead. Drag, I don't know if it's a good idea. Issei, come on Drag, I'm the strongest Sekiryuutei, I'm not afraid of idiots and bores. Drag, okay, but be careful, I'll tell you a lot about the Queen's madness. Issei, don't worry, I know how to manage. Drag, okay, I'll go to sleep. Have a good time with the brat. The boy went up the stairs to open the door to Virgil's room. Virgil's room. The little boy was reading his book of poems quietly until Issei came in. Virgil, what did Morrison tell you? Do we have work? Issei, something like that when we confirm the payment we will go to Kuoh City. Virgil, why did you take away my phone number in that city? Issei, it's a long story that I'll tell you when we're there. What do you think if we go have ice cream today? After all, we leave tomorrow. Virgil, really? Sure, thanks dad. With a smile I hugged Issei, who reciprocated the hug. Issei, yes, I'm sure I'll come back after all, this kid was the best thing that happened to me in the world. Time skip. The chestnut tree and his son were together walking through the streets of the city. Virgil, I didn't know there was a city far from the place. Issei, Morrison taught me this when I accompanied him to the liquor store. Virgil, so I can drink too. Issei, you're not very young when you grow up. Virgil, come on, I'm a kid who knows how to use a gun and I can't drink. Adult life is unfair. Issei, when you grow up I'll tell you a story. Both walked quietly through the city. Virgil looked at some couples with their son. The boy smiled a little sadly because he wanted something, and that was a mother. City Park. Issei and Virgil were sitting on a bench eating ice cream quietly. Issei, this place is very peaceful, isn't it? Virgil, yes it is. The boy noticed how his son looked at a couple with their son walking together. Virgil, Dad, tell me why can't I go to school like the other kids? Issei. Virgil, bueno. Virgil, I know the business isn't much, I know my real parents died, but I would like instead of shooting crazy demons to go out as a family. Issei, Sai, you are not the only one. I also want to be able to say that you will have a mother, someone to love, but life sometimes is not the way we want it. Virgil, I know it's just that. Issei, hey, I promise you something, after I finish the work I'm going to enroll you in a school. Virgil, really? Issei, if we need a vacation from killing demons, what do you say? Virgil, what am I saying? I don't know what to say, thanks, Dad. The little boy threw himself at his father. This is, oh oi was a cover of Gabardine. He sighed and smiled at his son's smile. The next day. Sekiryuutei Cry. At the exit of the Issei store there was a sign that said closed for vacation. Issei, ready okay Virgil, you have everything you need. Virgil, I brought pistols, chargers, holy water and many other things in my backpack. Brag, wow the brat really prepares himself. Issei, well, everything is ready, let's go then. Betting on the Cavalier with Virgil in the back, accelerating towards their destination, Kuoh City. Driving for hours, thanks to the fact that Cavalier works with magic, they were able to follow the entire trip. The evening. Kuoh City. In the darkness you can see how both had arrived in the city. Issei, Kuoh City, I thought I wasn't coming back. Virgil, she's very pretty, Dad, at night she's amazing. Issei, you're impressed, wait until you see the hotel where we'll be staying. Virgil just stayed silent as Issei continued to be manipulated. Time skip. Hotel. Issei in Virgil's room. Already arriving at the room Virgil threw himself onto the bed. Virgil, finally the trip was tiring. Issei, come on, I was driving, stay here while I call Morrison. The boy went to rest while Issei called Morrison. Issei, Morrison, we're here. Morrison, I'm very glad you arrived. Well, I'll give the information to Azazel tomorrow. Issei, what? You said you knew where the job was. Morrison, believe me, I told him that, but he's a fool, he wants to meet you, try not to break his legs, okay? Issei, I'll try, I'll call you if there are any problems. Morrison, ha, well, good luck in your city. Hanging up the call, he sighs exhaustedly. Issei, I need a drink, hey Virgil, do you want to come with me? Virgil, really? I'm going to take it. Looking at her father with starry eyes. Issei, of course you're not young anymore, but they make ice cream there, I'll give you one. Virgil, it was too good to be true. Bar. Entering the boy saw that it was full of some rough men who were drinking. Issei, come on, I need a serious drink. Virgil, what a boring place, thank goodness I brought my poetry book. They both sat at a table waiting to be served. Issei, I'll go get a drink if something happens to you. The white-haired man took out his gun. Virgil, I know, I've got it covered, Dad, have fun. The brown-haired man stood up and went to the table to get himself a drink until they gave him one. Drake, are you sure you want to continue with this? Issei, if Drake is Azazel, if he tries something I'll break his. But he saw how there was a group of men formed watching something. Dragon, problemas. Issei, why is this happening to me? The brown-haired man put down his drink to see what was happening. Several men were crowded around one of the pool tables. Man, come on, darling, why don't you come with me? Man 2, hey, I was the first to tell him. Man 3, leave these fools and come with me. Wow, it has to be a girl for them to let her work. Issei, she's right, step aside and let her work. Man 3, oh, what are you going to do to us? You look pretty, you show off your style, ha. Then, ha. Issei grabbed the man's hand and squeezed it until it broke, causing him to fall in pain. Man 3, ahhh. Issei, if you don't want that to happen, please stay away from her. The men listened and walked away, leaving him alone with the girl. Thanks, the truth is that I was already bothered, it's difficult to work with this outfit. Issei, don't worry, just me, Lavinia. The chestnut before his eyes to the beautiful Lavinia Rini dressed as a bunny. Lavinia, huh? If it's me, how do you know my name? Issei, you don't remember me, I am me. Lavinia, I can. You can't be here. The blonde hugged him tightly while Issei didn't know what to say. Issei, Lavinia, what are you doing working here? Lavinia, I'm looking for another job. Natsume-chan is taking my place at Tobio's bar, but what about you? Where have you been? Issei, it's complicated, The blonde took his hand, impressing Issei. Lavinia, you don't have to say it, I know. Issei, you know what? Lavinia, I know that Gremory and company cheated on you with Virginia-kun. The chestnut swallowed saliva as he remembered that moment that marked him. Issei, how did you know? I thought Sirzechs and the factions wanted to hide this. Lavinia, Virginia-kun didn't count them to me one night and Natsume couldn't take it anymore. Issei, wow, Lavinia had the balls to say it. I'm sorry. Lavinia, no I'm sorry, if only I had spent more time with Virginia-kun. Issei, oh, I spent more time with Rias and the others. Issei, Lavinia, I'm sure your life would be perfect. They both blushed at what they said at the same time. Issei, I became a rogue demon hunter after what happened. I ran away after they wanted to erase my memory. Lavinia, it must really be a good business, Yufufu. Issei, I don't earn much, but I do it for my son. Lavinia, son. Perhaps your icon. Issei, no, I didn't adopt him when I saved him as a baby from a rogue demon. He's my greatest happiness. Look at the photo. Showing a picture of little Virgil with Issei carrying him. Lavinia, how beautiful your hair looks like his. Issei, it is every time I see him I imagine that he is Lint's son or Ross's, I even imagine what my children would have been like. Lavinia, I always dreamed of having Virginia-kun's child. Seeing this makes me happy that you went ahead. Issei, thanks, and what happened with the underworld and everything else? How's Tobio? Lavinia, Toby is doing very well, he is still doing his business, and he married Sei-chan. Issei, hey, that's good. I'll visit him if I can. Lavinia, but about the underworld icon, the Gremorys were pregnant. Issei, if they are volleys, he never told you? Lavinia, he only told us that he was unfaithful to them, but about the children, icon, look at this. Passing him the news of the underworld, the brown-haired man began to read until his eyes glowed red. Issei, where are they now? Lavinia, they now live in Hyoudou mansion according to your parents and. Issei, my room, Virgil has the key, tell him I have something to do. The brown-haired boy left the bar while Virgil, looking for his father, saw Lavinia. Virgil, excuse me, I'm looking for my dad. Have you seen him? Lavinia, your father, well, I think he has some business to attend to. The blonde was sad, while Virgil didn't know what was happening while Issei walked in the darkness of the no, while his eyes glow red with anger. Issei, damn Uriah's Gremory. Lavinia looked at the news of a photo where the new generation of the Sekiryuutei came out where the Gremory are seen with their children, but they had brown eyes and expressions like Issei. Evening. Streets of Kuoh. In the quiet streets of Kuoh was a chestnut tree walking angrily. Drag, calm down a bit, mate, you'll get attention. Issei, believe me, Drag, I tried, but I can't contain what happened. He continued walking to the place where he lived almost all his life until marrying his ex-wives, the Gremory mansion. Drag, I don't feel any power inside. Issei, then let's pay him a visit. Picking the mansion door hard, seeing how everything was in order. Issei, return. But I couldn't see anything, only that there was little light and a lot of silence. Drag, everything seems calm. Issei, well, let's see where they are. He started searching and saw that there were old photos of him from when he was young with them and his wedding. Drag, this looks like a haunted house. Issei, I believe it's almost dark, where are they? And what is that strange smell? Drag, I don't know, but be careful, Issei. The brunette walked slowly to look for his ex-wives. He thought at first that they might be asleep, but he didn't think so. He continued walking until he saw that there was a light in the living room. Issei, why do they only have one light on? I walked slowly so as not to make noise and approached the room, peeking in to see. Issei, who is? Come on, don't suck so fast, you tickle me. The brown-haired boy stood still because he recognized the voice, a voice that once made his heart beat, but now makes it beat with hatred. Sitting in a rocking chair was a beautiful woman with red hair, more like crimson red, of the same blood as Gremory. Iridide is smiling as she feeds a small brown-haired baby with milk from her breasts. Rias, my little ex, don't eat so fast, you must drink your milk to grow big and strong. Issei just started walking with his eyes covered by his hair until he stopped behind Rias. Issei, I came back home Rias. At that moment Rias went into shock. That voice she thought she would never hear was standing behind him, believing it could have been a dream or a fantasy. She got up from the chair carrying her baby in her arms, still breastfeeding from Ria's breast. The Redeed turned around and saw him again, her first love, the man for whom she fought for her, the one she married. Hyoudou. Issei. Rias, Ias. The thunderclap was heard as it began to rain. Issei looked seriously at Rias while she couldn't react. Issei, hello Rias, I see it's been a long time. Rias, Ias, is that really you? Really? The Redeed tried to touch him, but Issei slapped her hand. Issei, no thanks, I'd rather not get it dirty. Rias saw how his hand trembled. It was undoubtedly her Issei's hand. Rias, Ismaïs, you have returned. Rias' eyes shone with happiness like a child receiving a new toy. Rias, I'm so happy. Issei, well, don't explain this shit to me. The brunette showed the photo with the news that his ex-wife's children are his. Rias, oh Myas, I don't know what you see wrong with our children. Issei, lie. He clenches his fists. I felt Volley's energy in your belly and the others. I don't believe that by miracle you got pregnant with me, tell me the truth. Rias, ha 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 ha, Myas is the truth. Do you think we really wanted to get pregnant with a white emperor? We have always loved you. This child is the proof of our love. Issei saw the child that Rias was breastfeeding. Greg, I can't be Issei this brat. Issei, no, you're not lying. You cheated on me with the rest of the boars in this house. Rias, shhhhh, be quiet Myas, our baby is sleeping. Issei, that baby isn't mine. Taking Rias by the shoulders, tell me the truth, what the hell? Issei noticed how there was a black tattoo on Rias' neck. Greg, curse has already begun. Issei, Rias, what is that on your neck? Rias, HMP. I don't know what you're talking about I'm happy to see you, you don't know how much we all miss you, we knew you were still alive, we know you'd come back sooner or later after all. Smiling madly, we love you Issei, taking out Ebony, enough bitch, I'll give you 3 seconds to tell me the truth. 1, 2. Rias on Isama, what's happening because of the noise? Greg, shit Issei, this is dangerous. Issei, what I was missing. Going down the stairs were the chestnut's ex-wives who, although the years had passed, were still just as beautiful. Zenobia, what happened Rias, we can't sleep. Akeno, Anada. Greg, mate, we must go. Issei, I won't leave without my answers. Greg. Irina, darling, is that you? How long have you been looking at yourself? Gabriel, handsome, very changed, more masculine. Enemu, and you look good with red, I wonder how you look without anything. It's called lips. Issei, if that's not going to happen, I'm going to make a false move and it will be worth it if all the factions go after me because those children look like me, and why did they run my parents away? Asia, huh? What are you talking about? We offered them to stay Issei-san, but they refused. Issei, see Negarin. Roigun, it seems there was a snitch who told about our little accident. Issei, accident, what stupidity, you looked very good when Volley hit you hard against the bed. Blint, come on Issei-kun, why don't you relax and have a drink? It's been a while since we had this nice meeting. Issei, I don't plan on staying any longer. Ingvald, well, in that case. But when he was about to open his mouth, Issei fired a shot at the ceiling as a warning. Ilmenhold, wow, how rude. Tiamat, you must be a beast in bed. Issei, I can't stand this anymore, tell me the truth, those children are Volley's, right? Office, no, honey, they're not yours. Believe us when we tell you that they're very similar to you. Hee. Greg, this is too scary. Broswis, but if you want, you can stay and we can talk about the subject. It's a shame that Yusaka-sama and Serafal-sama are not here because of their work, but they would be happy that you came back. Issei, yes, then tell them not to get so excited, I'll get to the bottom of this. Ravel, poor Issei-sama, why do you deny so much that our love for you is pure? Issei, that's easy. Ravel shooting a photo of his wedding, because that pure love was destroyed when I realized that they only wanted to buck. Kaneko, but senpai, what did we do? Issei, enough. You don't know how much it hurt me, every time I broke my back, every damn bone in my body that I broke, every damn drop of blood I shed was so we could be happy, but you didn't want to throw it all away. Kuroka, no Issei Nyan, you're wrong, we didn't want to. Issei, what? Keep fooling me or erase my memory so they can keep fooling me. I'm sorry, but I don't feel the same anymore, I'm leaving here. Nix, don't even think we'll let you go Issei, you're ours and only. The god felt a bullet graze her cheek, bloodshot by Issei. Issei, if you come near me or don't let me out, the same thing that happened with Volley, I'll do it to you, that's clear. The girls just watched but smiled anyway. Rias, go ahead you are free to be whatever you want, but let me tell you that it is impossible to escape from us. The Fae, sooner or later you'll come back to us. Issei, we'll see about that. The annoyed boy without answer left the mansion while the girls had a blush. Laisha, did you see how strong he became? Ilmenhold, if with that strength, imagine the children that could come out. Hiroka, I'm already wet Nyan. Rias, we have to let them know that Kaneko is back. Asia, could you tell Serafal and Yasaka? Kaneko, see Rias Onasama. Asia, entendido Rias Onasama. Bakeno, I see that expression in your eyes Rias, I think that's what I think. Rias, what better way to celebrate tonight? We're going to grope a lot. The others had a smile of lust for what they would do tonight due to Issei's return while he was walking through the streets of Kuoh in the rain. Drake, relax, buddy, we'll think of something. Issei, what the hell can I do Drake, did you feel that kid's aura? It's mine. It's impossible. You must know something, right? Drake, I don't remember things like that, but I know someone who could. The brown-haired boy thought about the only person who could do such a thing for the girls. Issei, Azazel clenching his fists angrily releasing a red aura. Virgil, Dad. The boy calmed down when he heard his son hugging him in the rain while Lavinia was watching the scene with an umbrella. Issei. Virgil. Virgil, I was worried about you Sniff, I thought you left me alone I'm sorry Dad. Quickly the little albino felt the hug of his father who was just crying. Issei, no, you're sorry for having a very idiotic father. Virgil just smiled as he hugged him while Lavinia smiled at such a beautiful scene. Time skip. Hotel. The three were entering the hotel. Issei told Virgil to go in while saying goodbye to Lavinia. Lavinia, do you think Azazel did it? Issei, he is not the only genius I know, tomorrow I will find out. Lavinia, be careful, okay? Issei, hey, who are you talking to? Go and say hi to everyone. The blonde attended to walk away. Issei, wait Lavinia. The blonde stopped confused looking at the brunette. Issei, I'm sorry for what happened between you and Vali. Could you really have been happy together? Lavinia, I can. Smiling, it doesn't matter Virginia kun, it's the past, I know I can fall in love again, just like you I can. Issei, Lavinia. Smiles of course, take care of yourself. The blonde waved goodbye as Issei entered the hotel. Greg, ha ha ha, wow, you're in love right? Issei, of course I only feel guilty, she and I had setbacks in love. Greg, but you know something, maybe they were cheated on because they couldn't be together. The brown-haired boy just smiled at that idea of his dragon friend, but first they must discover the secret of the Gremory. The next morning. The brown-haired boy gets out of bed watching his son sleep peacefully with a smile, however he still couldn't get the thoughts of his ex-wives out of his head. Without a doubt, Azazel was the only one who could give him information. Greg, I'm sure it's not a trap. Issei, Azazel is not one of those Drag, even so I will go prepared, he is the only one who could do that for the girls. Greg, if so, be careful. Issei, don't worry, I'll be fine. Let's wake up Virgil for breakfast. Seeing his son, he shakes him to wake him up. Come on, boy, it's already daylight. Virgil, 5 more minutes, Dad. Issei, sigh, and then I'm the lazy one, let's wake up today we will meet with the informant. With difficulty the child gets up, opening his eyes. Virgil, why did Morrison say he wanted to see us? Issei, I don't know, but have your things ready. He's a high-level keter. You shouldn't underestimate him. Come on, let's have breakfast. Virgil, very well, I'm hungry. Standing up to run. Greg, he has a lot of energy, right? Issei, you should have seen him as a child, it was difficult to calm him down. Walking to make breakfast for your son today would get you the answers you're looking for. Azazel building. Issei and Virgil were at the door where the ketter's room was. Issei, remember Virgil enters first, I must give a surprise. Virgil, understanding father. The boy opened the door and saw that there was nothing there, just a luxurious sofa. Virgil, wow, this guy must be a millionaire. Walking around the room out of curiosity until I hear a voice in the background. Wow, so you're the demon hunter Morrison told me about. I wanted to meet you. The voice walked to where Virgil was seeing that it was Azazel, the same eyelash seeing a child. Azazel, hey. Kid, are you lost? Where are your parents? Virgil, my father is actually going to come in now. Entering through the door came the chestnut Azazel. When he saw him he was surprised to know who he was. Azazel, I say can't. Issei, Azazel has been a while. The fallen one did not believe that the boy standing there was his former student. For his part, Issei had a serious expression while Virgil was just calm. Azazel, wow, I didn't think I'd see you here. Issei, well, as you can see, I'm still alive. Virgil checks that we're really alone. Virgil, sure because. Issei, do it as a precaution. The albino attended to go check while Azazel was nervous. Azazel, really. But he fell when Issei pointed ebony at him. Issei, let's leave the kindness, tell me how did you do it? Azazel, do what? I don't know what you're talking about. Issei, in anger, grabbed Azazel by the neck and put him against the wall. Issei, don't joke with me, tell me how the hell did you make those boars have children that look like me? Azazel, wait, do you think I? Issei, I'll give you 5 seconds to speak before your blood decorates the furniture. 1. Azazel, wait, Issei, there was a misunderstanding, I didn't. Issei. 2. Azazel, I swear I had nothing to do with it. Issei. 3. Azazel, I don't know anything, believe me. Issei, yes of course. 4. 5. Azazel, I am no longer the governor of Gregory. The boy, upon hearing that, brought down to Azazel the news he had given him. Issei, what are you talking about? Azazel, I am no longer the governor of Gregory, now it is Shemhazai. Issei, and why should I believe you? Azazel, sigh, because I was going to confess what happened that day. At that moment Virgil arrived from checking the house, seeing his father and Azazel standing. Virgil, check, there's nothing strange, just some strange magazines and a lot of alcohol, did something happen? Azazel, sigh, I think we have a lot to talk about. A few minutes later. Virgil was playing a video game while Azazel was serving some drinks. Issei was sitting on a couch. Azazel, tell me, do you want golden apple distillate, whiskey, tequila? Issei, just a glass of water please. The fallen man gave him a glass of water and then sat on the other side of the sofa. Azazel, you've missed a lot since you left. Issei, what is this about you not governing Gregory anymore, and explain this? The brown-haired boy passed on the news of the girls with their babies who looked like Issei. Azazel, sigh, as I told you, I had nothing to do with it. After you escaped, the girls went into such severe shock that they were taken to a hospital, obviously we kept it a secret so as not to alert anyone. After a few days they recovered and we tried to find you, but you were impossible to locate, it's as if the world was hiding you. Issei, let's just say he was a bit busy. Taking a sip from his glass of water. Azazel, after that, they started acting strange, it's as if something inside them was breaking. They tried to abort the babies, but we told them not to. In the end, we thought that if they were in the Hyoudou mansion, they could recover from your loss. The rest of us who knew the truth held a meeting, so that the 4 of us could confess the truth to our factions. There were only 2 in favor and 2 against. I was one of those who was in favor. Issei, I imagine the first to oppose was. Azazel, Sirzechs was the second to tell the truth. Issei, what? Come on, you must be joking, why? Azazel, although Sirzechs is somewhat of a siskin, not at Seraphol's level, he also accepted his fate, wanting to fix things with his little brother. The brown-haired boy didn't say anything, he just remembered when Sirzechs sometimes wanted him to call him little brother, something he's glad to have. Issei, I can't believe he really did that, and why did Michael and Auden refuse? Azazel, Michael knows the punishment that Gabriel, Irina and Lind could suffer if the truth is known. Old Auden did not do it because he did not want Roswis to be banished from Asgard and he did not want to lose his position. Issei, tch, they don't surprise me, then why do people in the underworld spread the news that I have children? Azazel, drinking his drink, because before we acted the girls acted first. Issei, what do you mean they acted first? Azazel, the day I was going to confess the truth, I was declared a traitor. Issei, why? Azazel, I was accused along with Auden, Michael and Sirzechs of conspiring against the Sekiryuutei. Issei, conspire? What are you talking about? Azazel, I feel like the girls used this because they knew at least one of us would confess what happened. Penem, you accused me with our meeting of how we were going to eliminate you, but it wasn't just in Gregory, Heaven, Asgard, Olympus, Hyoudou, the Karnstein faction, and finally the underworld. Everyone believes that we tried to kill you. Issei, but didn't you show a video or something? Azazel, I tried, but when they saw that the aura in Penemu's belly was yours I couldn't believe it and they expelled me. Issei, and what happened to the others? Azazel, Yasaka had no problem staying in power, Michael is in prison, and a few days after being judged they want Gabriel to be their new leader, Olympus fully trusts Nyx, Elmenhold is a noble, there is not much that can be done, in Asgard Auden will be in prison. Issei, but in the underworld what happened to Sirzechs? Azazel, with Sirzechs taking another sip, they forced him to resign from his position as Mao Lucifer. Issei, you're joking, how come the other Mao didn't do anything, what about Milikas? Azazel, we tried everything, Sona, Saji and Milikas tried to leak information, but Seraphol was eliminated as Mao controls everything that is the means of communication of the underworld, plus, knowing that there is no evidence of any act of infidelity. Issei, and the Gremory clan knows. Azazel, Milikas told the patriarchs, however they didn't believe him because the aura of Rias' womb is yours. Issei, and no way, and who is the Mao Lucifer now? Azazel, that's the problem, the demonic council wants it to be more liberal, and they organize the ratings game, whoever wins the tournament will be the Mao Lucifer. Issei, then I can trust Sekiryuutei, Sona, Seekvaira and Diehauser. Azazel, it's not just about winning, Rias has too much support from the Astaroth, Belphegor, Baal and Phoenix clans, and with external support from Seraphil and Yasaka, it's most likely that Rias will end up being Mao Lucifer. Issei, and what would happen if he ends up being Mao? Azazel, Rias becomes Mao and Gabriel becomes the leader of heaven, they will force you to remarry them in any case, they have the factions in their palm. The angry brown-haired man squeezed a glass of water until it broke. Issei, no me Jodas. Azazel, calm down, I'm planning a plan to make their plan fail. We must prove that they are from Vali. Issei, and where is he now? Azazel, he disappeared, no one, not even his team, knows. Issei, I know that what I did to you does not deserve forgiveness, but please help me. The brown-haired boy thought about it a lot until he saw Virgil play and smiled because this child was his greatest happiness, no one could take him away from him. Issei, I think we can start again Azazel-sensei. Azazel-sensei. I haven't heard that in a while. Does that mean? Issei, I haven't forgiven you, show with actions that you've changed. Azazel, of course I won't let you down. Smiling another drink. Issei, for this time, one more thing, you don't know where my parents are, right? Lavinia told me they were kicked out, but where are they now? Azazel had dropped the glass, breaking it, while the brown-haired boy looked at him confused. Azazel. Issei tus padres. The brown-haired boy just put on a shocked face upon hearing what the Fallen One had told him. Hyoudou Mansion. Secret dungeon. It is seen as Rias who was naked went down with her sleeping baby to a room looking at a machine. Rias, you know my beloved Issei came to see us today, we are very happy, excuse the sounds of arriving. There was a person connected to the machine with a red liquid coming out of it. Rias, come on, I just want to talk to someone you know, I felt happy when I saw our baby R. But the Redeed was scared when she saw her baby's hair turn from brown to white. Rias, no, not again. I quickly look for a bottle that I made the baby drink so that his hair would turn brown again. Rias, there won't be much left for the transformation to be complete according to office we need more blood and soon you will be my child you will be able to see your father hugging his baby, so please help us make this happen, Aka-san ha 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 ha. In the machine was an almost decrepit Mickey Hyoudou, whose machine was extracting her blood that was going into some containers. Mickey, son save me. Chapter 7. Terrible revelation, let's go to Hyoudou. Kuoh Hospital. Issei, Virgil and Azazel walked through the hospital corridors to a room where Azazel took Virgil by the shoulder and assisted Issei to enter, the brunette with some fear entered the room. S room. A somewhat old brown-haired man was seen connected to a breathing machine, leaving Issei very shocked. Issei, oh Itausen. Boru, who's calling me opening his eyes wow, I can't believe it Issei my boy is it you? Issei, Otu-san with tears he threw himself to hug his father forgive me Otu-san. Old Goru, surprised by his son's action, just smiled as he reciprocated the hug. Boru, okay, calm down, son, look at you, you're a man now. Issei, Otu-san, how did you end up like this? Where is Aka-san? Boru, wow, I think you missed a lot. We have time to talk, right? While outside the room Virgil tried to listen to what was inside. Azazel, Virgil is better left alone. Virgil, but if he is Otu-san's father, he is my grandfather. I want to meet him. Azazel, taking Virgil by the shoulder I think it's better for the two of us to wait. They have a lot to talk about. The albino, although he wanted to listen and meet his grandfather, knew the situation and went with Azazel to the waiting room, while in the Issei room he sat next to his father's bed. Boru, son, do you remember the day you were going to marry Asia and the others? Issei, if you were there with your camera. Boru, haha, I wanted to know if all this was just a dream and you were still a pervert without a girlfriend. Issei, yes let's go Otu-san. Boru, I saw you were very nervous, you reminded me of me on my wedding day, of course I wasn't going to marry a harem of girls, that would have been my big dream. Issei, and then the pervert is me smiling. Boru, those nerves, like, am I not worthy? Or if I'll be able to make them happy? Those questions must have been running through your head, so I approached you, and before Aka-san could walk you down the aisle, do you remember what I said? Issei, I think you told me not to ruin it with my perversions. Boru, ha 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 cough not the other thing son. Issei, I know, you said to be myself and that I would make them happy anyway. Boru, if you don't know how happy your Aka-san was that day, she's just waiting for her grandchildren. Issei, I remember how much I wanted to play with Asia's children. Boru, but sad look every story doesn't end with a happy ending right? Your mother and I went on a trip and you stayed with your wives. Surprise was when we returned you were no longer there and we found the girls living in the mansion and we found them in full pregnancy. We saw how Asia was happy to have your baby and that we would finally be grandparents. This is what we knew. Issei, wait, find out about. Boru, that the girls were unfaithful to you, yes. Issei, who told him? Boru, Saji-kun and Gasper-kun. Issei, I still owe those two favors. Boru, Mickey and I didn't want to believe it, your mother almost went into shock when she found out your wives were being unfaithful to you and you didn't have your parents to be the shoulder to cry on. Issei, don't worry Otu-san, I had to learn the hard way. Boru, Saji showed us videos and photos that convinced your mother, but we wanted to know if those children were yours and according to Saji's studies, Vali's DNA was in those wombs. That gave us the strength to kick them out of the house, but tears up oh, son, forgive me. Issei, calm down Otu-san tell me what step. Boru, I remember the day I lost her. Flashback. Hyoudou mansion. Boru and Mickey had entered with unfriendly faces and for the first time they had the strength to face supernatural beings. Boru, sure of this? Mickey, Goru, our son has already done a lot for us, it's time to return the favor, how can we call ourselves parents if we don't defend our son? Boru, you're right, for Issei I have no right to call myself father if I don't do it, let's go. Both brunettes walked seriously towards the room where the girls were caressing their bellies with a smile, while Mickey looked at this with disgust. Goru was disappointed at how the girls ended up doing this even to Asia. Mickey, Rias girls we need to talk. Rias, Turning around to see Mickey oh Aka-san, Otu-san what brings you here? Mickey, I'm going to say it just once, I want you to leave my house now. Asia, what? But Aka-san, why are you telling us that? Boru, please stop pretending, we know. Ikeno, I don't know what you're talking about. Mickey, don't see us as idiots, come on what you did to my son. Irina, darling, I don't know what you're talking about. Zenovia, yes, as you can see, we are pregnant with his child. Maybe we had our fights, but. Mickey, then explain this to me. With tears she threw Rias some photos that show the girls in hex sections with Vali. Roswis, we can explain it. Serafal, if anyone wants to play a trick on you, we promise. Boru, enough, girls. They showed us the tests, even though we didn't want to believe it. There's proof that what you're carrying in your belly isn't my son. Mickey, so I ask you please to leave my house and never come back, you heard me, and don't think it will stay like that even though Issei isn't here. I hope you are ready for the divorce. The atmosphere became tense, the girls did not move or could not make any expression, their eyes were blank thinking about what it is like to separate from their Issei, which was impossible, but to the terror of the brown-haired ones, they saw how the girls only smiled in a somewhat sick way, one could even say with madness. Rias, yikes and. Kikas, yes. Subject, Aka-san, Otu-san don't joke like that, yeah. Zenovia, divorce Issei. Ha, they didn't know they were funny. Mickey, it's not a joke, I'm telling you seriously, get out now. Gabriel, see come on ha Mickey-san don't be like that. Boru, does this really make you laugh? Bravel, it makes us laugh because he thinks we would be capable of betraying Issei-sama like that. Nix, true ha. Mickey, but you will be. Rias, but ignoring all that, it is true that this child is not my Issei's. She caresses her belly. But let's find a solution that involves the two of you. Smiling. Boru, a solution. Office, in ancient dragon rituals, there is a way to modify the DNA of the offspring. The Fae, it's a dangerous blood ritual and we need Issei-sama, but he's not here. Ilmenhold, we wanted to know if you would give us your blood so we could have Issei's babies. Mickey, are you serious? Don't you know the damage you're doing to those babies? Lint, we know that's why it's up to them. Ingvold, if you want to live with your real father, you are welcome. Tiamat, but if they fail, well, I don't mind having an abortion. Boru, why you are crazy to think this. Irina, please Goru-san, Mickey-san, we are almost ready to give birth. Kuroka, help us with our breeds Nyan. Broigun, I know they would make good grandparents. Asia, so they say Aka-san, Otu-san would help us with a smile. The Hyoudou couple did not articulate words of terror that those girls felt that their master son was not there and were replaced with obsessive crazy women. The brown-haired girls felt that they should flee, their instinct told them to run, however they remained firm. Boru, we won't do it. Laisha, I'm sorry, but I think. Mickey, it's a no, it's a harm that they will do to some children who are not to blame, we refuse to participate in their sick ritual. Penemu, it's a shame we wanted them to surrender of their own free will. Boru, wait Penemu-san what are you saying? Rias, we're sorry, but they're necessary. Okay, girls, it's time, right? Time's running out. Arena, hi we take care Gabriel Sama ready. Creating a halo of light. Gabriel, of course creating a halo of light. The chestnuts quickly began to run because they knew what Arena and Gabriel would do. They launched the halos of light. Goro managed to duck to avoid it, however, one managed to catch Mickey. Mickey, go. Goro, Mickey. Leave her alone, damn it, but he received a blow from Kaneko that made him almost crash into a wall. Rias, be careful Kaneko we need it. Kaneko, I'm sorry Rias-sama. Goro, spit blood see curse. Mikeno, give up, Goro-san can't beat us. Mickey, Goro Hue. Goro, you're crazy, I won't leave you here. Mickey, please run away, I'll be fine smiling at him. Zenovia, how sweet, but don't worry, they'll be together soon. Goro clenched his fists no, I'm not going to run away. I was always a coward, but I won't give up. Or am I a good husband if I don't protect my wife, so I won't give up. Don't think that Issei inherited his mother's ability to not give up. Come on. Launching himself against the girls. Mickey, no Hue. Goro, ahhh. But before he could touch one he was pierced by a dark whip. Nix, first rule of combat. Don't neglect your back. Goro, spits blood Mickey. The Fae, Nix-sama, what have you done? Look how you left him, I'm sure you pierced his heart. Ilmenhold, if your pulse is dropping, it's no use anymore. Asia, O2-san you are such an idiot. Tiamat, well, let's get rid of the trash, shall we? Lint and Roygun grabbed Goro and threw him out of the Hyoudou mansion as he bled out. Rias, goodbye O2-san, don't worry, we'll take good care of Aka-san, ha ha ha. Closing the doors. Goro, no. Mickey running as fast as she could, banging on the door open the door. Take me, but not her. Let me in, let me in. The man spent hours banging on the door, staining it with his blood. If he had died at that point, he remained standing, gradually weakening, until he fell, already without strength. Goro, Mickey Issei I'm sorry closing his eyes. At that moment, a magic circle appeared and Azazel came out and, upon seeing Goro in that state, quickly took him to the nearest hospital. End of flashback. Goro, after I woke up in the hospital, Azazel told me he was going to see how the girls were, but he found me. I told him what I knew and that I was going to investigate, but I cough. I'm weak. I lost a lot of blood and my heart is weakening. I think I don't have much time left to live. Issei, upon hearing this story, just didn't say anything, he thought about himself, the years of his training, he didn't think about his parents who suffered this hell, and now he pays for it. Issei, O2-san with tears eye. Goro caresses Issei's cheek don't cry son, men don't cry, you could have made a life, and if I have to die, I feel happy to be able to see you again. Issei, but there must be a solution to becoming a demon or fallen or. Goro, no son, I don't want that, Azazel, in fact he offered it to me, but I rejected it, I don't want to live and lose my humanity and live a long time, I already made my life, but it's your turn to make yours, just promise me something. He takes his hands promise your old man that you will marry a beautiful woman, have at least 3 children and be happy, yes, son. Smiling. Issei, yes with a smile with tears yes, I promise O2-san. Hyoudou mansion. Ria's dream. Lemon skipped. Rias. The redeed increased the speed of the sit-ups, almost bringing both of them to climax. Rias Issei, I run. Rias. Outside Ria's dream. Hyoudou mansion. Girl's room. Rias woke up seeing who was picking her up was Akeno who was naked. Akeno, good morning Rias. Rias, good morning Akeno, what's wrong? I was having a good dream. Akeno, Yufufu I can already imagine that you wet the sheet seeing how there was a stain on the bed. Rias, it's just that after seeing this I really wanted to. Akeno, before thinking about that you should first concentrate. Your next opponent for the rating game will be announced soon. Rias, right the girls must be training, well I'll go now. The redeed got out of bed stretching, however, Akeno, seeing Ria's naked figure, couldn't resist touching her breasts. Rias, Akeno you want to play right? Akeno, of course, Rias, you turn me on a lot when you're like this. The girl just kissed Akeno who reciprocated and then squeezed her butt making her moan. Rias, then I have to feed Aka-san. Akeno, at least a quickie in the shower. Rias, okay, but fast. With a smile they both went to the bathroom where some feminine moans were heard. Minutes later. Secret dungeon. Rias was walking down the stairs wearing a transparent robe while carrying a plate of food. Rias, hello Aka-san, how have you been? In a kind of machine was a decrepit Mickey Hyoudou with some tubes that were connected to her back and from them blood came out to some containers, however the brunette did not say anything. Rias, come on, I just want to have a conversation with my mother-in-law. Taking some food with a fork. Come on, say ah. Mickey, I don't want anything you offer me I'd rather die. Rias, I'm afraid it's not possible, just with you we were able to have 50% of Issei's original DNA, the rest was to unite it with ours. Mickey, and what would you do with me when you're done? Rias, you will be sent to a hospital. Serafral has already made the transmissions. I will say, my beloved mother-in-law, whom I love like a mother, Mickey Hyoudou, was attacked by traitorous demons sent by Mao Sirzechs. Mickey, how can you do this Rias? He was your brother. Rias, it's not. A true brother would never tell me that I was unfaithful to my Issei, he's to blame. As soon as he becomes a Mao, the first thing I'll do is execute him. Mickey, what about your family? Rias, my foolish parents believe me, and as for Milikas, when he becomes a Mao, I will remove him from his position and put my son in charge. Mickey, you're not the same that girl who was kind, good-natured. What happened to you? Rias, nothing Akasan, let's eat. Mickey, he's not going to love you. Rias, what are you talking about? Mickey, no matter how many titles, money or children you give them, my son will not love you again. That angered Rias, who just threw the plate of food looking furiously at Mickey. Rias, listen carefully old lady, the only reason you haven't died of starvation is because we need your blood, so the formula is finished. Now I'll come back with food and you better eat. Rias slammed the door, leaving Mickey sighing. Mickey, I just hope to see you before I die, son. Rias went up the stairs to close some doors that were hidden to go to the living room. Hyoudou Mansion Hall. Rias angrily went to the kitchen where Kuoh was. The Kuoh, I see you're angry. Rias, we're going to have to relocate Akasan. The Kuoh, what? But the ceremony is in less than 3 days. Rias, Issei already knows about this place, it's not a matter of time before he comes here. The Kuoh, and what will we do? The process is not finished. Rias, we will use my family's old castle in the underworld. Call the others and let them know. The Kuoh, understood, leaving while Rias looks at a photo of Issei. Rias, just 3 days my Issei, 3 days and you'll be mine. Hospital waiting room. Virgil and Azazel were sitting waiting for Issei, although the albino was somewhat anxious to meet his grandfather, Azazel was thinking how much the news would impact Issei, and then the door opened. Issei came out seriously while taking a quick step. Azazel, hey Issei, where are you going? Issei, I have to save my mother. Azazel, I understand what you're saying but we can't do this. Issei, Azazel, they have my mother there. And we don't know what they're doing to her. Azazel, listen, I know how you feel, I'll go with you, but we can't attack your wife's house like that. What would happen if people saw the Sekiryuutei like that? Issei, it's worth a lot to me. Azazel, Issei, don't let anger blind you. You need someone to support you in this operation. I can't, but I know who. Issei, what do you have in mind? Azazel. Oi Virgil. Virgil, yes Grandpa. Azazel. Issei, Grandpa. Since when? Azazel, wouldn't you like to go to Hyoudou? Smiling. Virgil. Hyoudou. Hyoudou. Isaka Palace. And Usaka, I don't understand why you support that Rias Gremory so much. Isaka, who was on her throne, was talking to a blonde boy with blue eyes, fox ears and 9 tails, Usaka's nephew. Isaka, I already told you Minato, I trusted that Rias Gremory is better to be the new Mao. Minato, I don't know, and, for me she is suspicious, that is, because the Sekiryuutei does not appear. Isaka, that doesn't suit you Minato, don't defy my orders. Minato, Neil's sorry for that aunt. The blonde stood up and then left, however he still had doubts in his mind. Minato, my aunt is acting very strange, I think I'll have to visit him. Making a magic circle to transport himself. Underworld. Underworld prison. Minato was walking through the prison guided by some guards. Minato, thanks for this. Guard, you're welcome Minato-sama. Guard 2, but be careful, this man is very dangerous. Minato arrived at a place that looked like an interrogation room. Guard, inmate 327 bring him. The doors opened, revealing 2 guards bringing in a prisoner who, judging by his handcuffs, had a double anti-magic seal and his clothes were almost in tatters. They made him walk over to sit him on a chair. Minato, leave us alone. The guards assisted, leaving Minato alone with the man, while the blonde sighed. Minato, I want the truth and answer the truth so I can hear your case. Sirzechs Gremory. The former Mao Lucifer was sitting while he raised his face where his face had dark circles from not sleeping and also a red beard that was growing. Sirzechs, I will speak with one condition Minato-sama. Minato, go ahead and say it. Sirzechs, I want to know with furious eyes looking at Minato what Rias Gremory did with my wife. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.